What up?
I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
Coach Shedeur.
Yeah.
Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. How did you?
You are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. Use not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
Got to get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so fast it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight and I said that guy can be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
The gap. Smitty and Jason Brown.
To the Coach JB show.
What up? It is Work Boot Wednesday. We got our hard hat on. Work boots. Strap them up. Let your nuts hang. And let's do it. This is Work Boot Wednesday. We got a loaded lineup today. Big Matt McChesney. Big Keenan Middleton right out the gate. Hopefully he can pop right in. He's got pitchers meetings here right after our show. So hopefully he can pop in, get his insight on Major League Baseball, what's happening, everything in baseball. We're going to dive into that as well. Plus, Michelle, our lawyer extraordinaire, talk a little NIL, University of Tennessee, what the judge has done to the NIL, locking it down, basically making this thing a free-for-all. We're going to dive into that as well. Plus, right out the gate, Shedeur Sanders is not him. That's what I say. My professional opinion is he is not him. I don't believe he's a freak that gives him the escapability to extend plays like what the freaks do in the NFL today. And I don't believe he has the arm of any elite quarterback to become a big-time player at the next level. That's just what I say. That's just my professional opinion. I know everybody in the chat has their own professional opinion, and I know you all have a resume and sent 28 guys to the NFL like I have. But and played. But that's my professional opinion. Can't wait to dive into it with Big Matt today because Matt has Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, on his show 060 today live. So we're going to dive into Matt, get Matt all riled up before he goes in there and talks to Prime. And maybe we can get some sense knocked into him this morning right here on the Coach AB Show with Big Smitty. Pound the like, subscribe, become a member today. If you're not one, we need 1,000 members. We need 50,000 subscribers. And we're about 500 members away and about 14,000 subscribers away. So make sure you pound the like, subscribe, and become a member. But before we get to that, our main man right out the gate, our Ball State legend, our Far East Side, Naptown, AR5 goggle wearing, Lamar Jackson defending, LeBron hairline having, Fox Sports working, 317 area code having, Big Smitty. Welcome, Big Smitty.
Yes, sir. Welcome back. Middle of the week, JB. We here. We back again. What time is it? 6:05 Pacific. I'm feeling good. You got your coffee. You got your Saturday and Sun shirt. All is well in the world, man. What's going on, JB? What's going on, Dad?
That's right. Right out the gate, I already gave my little tidbit on what's happening in the world. And today's show, Shedeur Sanders is not him. We're going to dive into it. Hopefully, Keenan can come on. If he can't, right out the gate, we'll wait to see if he can. We got Michelle Kirkpatrick, our lawyer extraordinaire, hopping on today in the first hour. Big Matt McChesney. It's gonna be
Big
fire.
time interview today. Big time interview today. Shout out to Matt.
I know. You know what? I think I screwed that up because we have Matt on the same time. Let me see.
That's all right, man. Players messed up too. Listen, y'all, we grind on this every single day, every single night. We're going through the rundown. We adding our own segments. We're switching things around. We're putting in guests into certain time slots. If they can't make that time slot, we try to maneuver it. So sometimes we double book, but we always figure it out. We'll either 4-box that thing or we'll 3-box it, make somebody wait for 10 minutes. We always gonna figure it out.
Because both of them two are in Colorado as well. So maybe we could have them on together for 5 minutes since they're talking about the same shit, NIL, and they're involved in the same thing. So maybe we can get Matt to come on about 10 minutes later, have Michelle and him in her segment together. I think it'd be good.
Yeah, I like that.
So you got to think on the running head coaching. You know what I'm saying? I gotta figure shit out.
Solution-based mindset. That's why I mess with you, JB. You ain't got time to worry about the problems and just think about that all day. You find a solution to any situation, and that's why I can rock with you, JB. I can relate to you.
Yeah.
Hey, the chat rocking with your boy today. What's going on? Breaking Bread. What's up, Gene? What's up, Dom? Yeah. What's up, Thieves by Law? The chat is rocking with your boy, man. Hey, talk to me. I talk back all show long, man. We need 1,000 people here in the next 3 minutes. Make it happen.
Hey, Keenan just hit me. Code JB. I'm sorry, brother. Manager just called a meeting. Let me see.
Keenan, tell your manager that you got more important things to do. Come on, Key.
He sent me a video. He's sending me a video of it in a meeting. That shit hard.
Ooh.
He's like, if I can, let me hop on after these meetings. I said, yeah.
Yeah, we here for 3 hours. We got time. We'll find a window. 8. We'll find a window for you.
I love it that we have a real guy active. That's why I like this. Because I want a guy to be able to, you know what I'm saying? Every Wednesday could be a different time for Keenan, but it's key stats. We got a graphic made. We got it ready to go. Let me see. I wish I can't show the video, though. Woo, that shit hard.
It's crazy.
Hell yeah.
Don't you hate when somebody's like looking at something that you can't see and they like boosting it up?
The whole team in there.
The whole team in there right now?
Yeah. But it's 9 in the East Coast. They're in Florida.
Right. I got you.
Yeah. So we'll have him on here in a minute. So let's get into the show, Big Smitty. Let's do our quote of the day and my new. I got a new poll question. Like, how I drop it every day is gonna fuck with Smitty. I'm gonna get the chat involved. Smitty don't know what the poll question gonna be. I got him yesterday. I'm gonna get him today again. But quote of the day brought to you by Betonline.ag. What up, man? The real Coach JB here for the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. We got a proud new sponsor, of course, for the second part of the year, and that's BetOnline. Continue to be your number one source for all basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. March Madness is here. Join us every Monday and Friday with Jeff Nadu as we will pick them and up-to-minute odds, stats, and trends. You can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop to your mobile device. Head on over to BetOnline today. Become part of the team and remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for 50% off plus welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Peace. Contract. All right. Let's get into it. Big Smitty, quote of the day.
Let's do it.
It is better to face the truth of life's harsh reality than live in falsehood of make-believe happiness.
So you're just saying, just keep it real. Just keep it real all the time, and it's going to make your life better.
TikTok, I'm looking at TikTok. There's a couple hundred people on my TikTok, and they all live in falsehood, like fake reality, make-believe happiness. That's what they do. Damn. I live in harsh reality. Like, I got to pay mortgage and car notes, and I got, you know what I mean? These motherfuckers just get to watch us live every day on the show. And I don't think they live in reality, dog. Because just say reality, Big Smitty. Well, you and I do a reality. They want to be like us. Contrary to belief, you have survived too many storms to be bothered by raindrops.
Ooh, come on now, JB. He's preaching. I've been through too much now not to worship you. We about to bring some church into the show right now. You've been through too much, JB, to let a little sprinkle dictate how you gonna go about your day. Come on now. Love it.
Whole question brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there too. Let's get the chat started. Let's get the chat riled up. And let's get Smitty shocking, jaw-dropping starting right now. Because yesterday, poll questions, he paused. That motherfucker paused. Poll question, Big Smitty. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Would you rather? Everybody in the chat drop their questions. Drop the comments in the comment section. Would you rather watch strangers have sex or have strangers watch you have sex? That's to get the party started. Everybody out there, drop it in the questions below. Drop your comments.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I got some good ones. I ain't gonna get us banned from the show, but
This is good though.
But this one right here should start the
because it kind of depends. Like, I mean, we've all watched PORN before. I don't want to say it because I don't know how the algorithm works, but we've all watched PORN at some point in our lives before.
Josh said strangers watch him.
Say it again.
Jazzy want to watch strangers. Joe, our main man Josh said watch him. Strangers watch him.
You know,
Keith Smith, you better shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody watching you. Ain't nobody watching your fat ass titties bounce around while you fuck. Get the fuck out of here.
They both can be cool though, depending on the situation and in the scenario. Everybody got their own little, because if you got people watching you, it's almost like you having a little threesome, a little foursome in a different way, right? But they watching you. But I feel like if somebody's watching me, I feel like I would almost prefer to know the person and to some degree. That's a tough one. I would say watch the strangers, but the strangers got to be like, it got to be some bad. It got to be some. The chick got to be bad.
Your girl just sitting there like this watching two motherfuckers. I couldn't do that shit.
I know if it was two ladies, it was two baddies. Like,
two girls. I could watch two girls.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, you didn't say nothing specific. You didn't say everybody got their own cup of tea of what they like, what they don't. So you just said sex. That can mean anything. That's a broad term. Talk to JB. What about you though? Huh?
What's your answer?
I'm gonna pick watch strangers.
Really?
Yeah, it's close though. Cause again, being in a relationship, you gotta do little shit to spice shit up. I can see how people watching you could be entertaining. You know, I know of people in the world who have done things on patios, on trips up high, you know what I'm saying, on vacation. And you don't know who's seeing you really because you up high. Motherfucker have a binocular. You don't know. Motherfuckers in this shit in the car. Motherfuckers in this shit in public locations. So like you don't know who have seen you or who has seen what over the years. So it's not like I'm anti that, but like the way you kind of set up the question is almost like motherfuckers. It's almost like I'm in a cage or some shit. I'm in a fucking glass fucking at a zoo. And motherfuckers just sitting here just really watching me and shit, taking notes. That shit felt a little weird. So what's your answer, JB?
I'm gonna fuck with you every day on this poll question shit. We got the shit going with these poll questions, boy. Woo! Yesterday had them going. Today got them going.
Hey, chill, Ron. See, you gotta chill. I be asking some weird stuff. Smitty, would you want to watch Coach? Bro, I'm gonna stop. I ain't gonna say what I was about to say.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
You know what I mean? We got some crazy motherfuckers in the chat.
Tyler said, JB, this a lose-lose situation. Smitty, you said so. It's your time to shine. Let's get Big Smitty's Smitty said so right out the gate.
Smitty says so right at the gate, man. I appreciate you, man. Listen, I was thinking about this all yesterday, man. Really more than yesterday, over the last few weeks. And I think it's time for us to stop comparing eras in sports. Now, I know, listen, it's a part of life, you know, whether it's in the media, the living room, the barbershops, right here on this show, we all spend countless hours debating which era is the best and who did what better, you know, etc. I get it. It's a natural thing to do. That's what you do in sports. You compare. You say your era is better than this era, whether it's football, basketball, boxing, tennis, blah, 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 blah. I get it. It's fun. But the problem with this is we're not appreciating the talent of either era and what really went down, whether it's from the old school or from present day. We're so busy comparing that we've lost sight of the greatness that either has happened or that's happening right now. My message for everybody, including myself, and I know I'm a big hypocrite because we're probably going to compare later on in this show. But just put it in your mindset real quick. I want everyone to just get these thoughts generating in your brains. Can we just start appreciating each era and the great athletes that have or are currently competing at the highest level right now? Can we do that, y'all? We're so busy just saying this guy's better than this guy. This guy couldn't play in this era. This era was better. Let's just appreciate the greats while they're great and while we still can and while they're present day playing, because at some point they won't be playing anymore. And in 20 years, we're going to be wishing that they could play like they're playing today. As time goes on, we always have the nostalgia for the past and the nostalgia for your era when you were growing up. And you always are going to naturally think that your time growing up was the best time. Let's just appreciate the now, appreciate the greats who laid down the foundation to provide the opportunities today and give everybody their flowers, y'all. Can we do that? And listen, if you disagree with me, if you think I'm wrong, it's all good. I'm not tripping because guess what? I don't care. Everything I say, it's a fact to me because Smitty said so. That's my take, JB. Yeah.
I like how you spun that around.
You see how I spun it around?
You spun it around to where you were living, you know, it's a gray area take where you can't really debate it because you just like, give everybody their flowers.
You ain't like that. You ain't like TJ. Hold on. See, JB be trying to find, every time I say something, he wants to find an area that he could pull from and just argue with me. But sometimes I set it up so smooth on some Eminem from 8 Mile type shit where he don't know what to do. Eminem said, yeah, I grew up in a trailer park. I'm a piece of trash. My mama don't like me. He listed everything that she knew the rapper was going to say about him. And the rapper just choked. I just 8 Mile JB. He don't know what to do right now. The whole show's ruined.
No, I know what to do. I just want to make sure that you understand. Like, I get what you're saying. But if you don't compare anything, you compare everything every day. You know damn well you compare everything. You compare food. You compare drinks. You compare beaches, Florida, Cali. You compare hoods, Naptown in LA. Everything's comparison, dog. And without it, you have nothing. And just understand something. We're about to be playing flag football in the NFL. Let that sink in with your era.
You listen to nothing I just said. Jamie said.
I gotta say. I'm just saying. I get it. Natural thing to do. Like I just said. You said it on your rant. It's the natural thing to do.
Because think about it, JB. I'm sure like your OGs probably looked at like Magic and Bird in that era and was like, man, this ain't like how it was with Bill Russell. Bill won 11 rings when Bill was playing and Wilt and them was doing it. Was like, so they just missed out on a great era of dominance because they were so worried about saying that their era was better. Like we do it every single time. And it's like, when you look back, it's like, hold on now. These dudes were great. These teams were great. This situation was amazing. Mahomes right now just won 2 in a row. The man won 3 in 6 years, winning all these AFC championships. I'm not even a Chiefs fan, but when I take a step back and try to be present, it's like, damn, dog, this is amazing. There's going to be a documentary on what's happening right now with the Chiefs and Mahomes. It's going to happen in the next 20 years or whatever. I don't know when it's going to drop, but it's going to happen. So I'm like, let's be present. Let's enjoy it now. I did the same thing with the Patriots and Tom Brady. I was so mad and just hating on him and trying to find ways to pick at his game because I was a Colts fan, that I didn't fully appreciate his greatness till later in his career. And now we're looking back and we're like, all the amazing things he did. So I'm just saying, it's cool to compare. Cool, I get it. But let's find a middle ground where we can compare but still appreciate.
I think they take all the fun away. Take all the fun away. I think it take all the fun away, man.
You feel me, D. Jones? D. Jones just said it best. You got to realize when you're living in history.
Yeah, we're living in the worst history of all time. Let me ask you, as far as sports goes, let me ask you, I wish we played with leather helmets again. Shit, I'd rather see a motherfucking skull crack than seeing this soft shit. It's a perfect segue. Bailey, I know we're going to move this thing around real quick because it shows shit's adapt. We got to adapt and overcome on some shit. I wanted to go into the two topics right out the gate before we dive into the rundown. There's lots to discuss today. Big Matt's going to come on. Big Michelle, our great lawyer extraordinaire, the beautiful Michelle Kirkpatrick. And then we're still going to get Keenan Middleton on to talk some baseball later on. So, I don't know if you've seen this, Smitty, but a man, went to get a massage.
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
And this is kind of right into what your take is. Like, the femininity of the man.
Say it again.
The femininity of the man.
That's a tough word to say.
The femininity of the man. Have you seen this? Have you seen this video, Smitty?
I see it.
This lady tried to touch on me at a massage place and then refused to give my money back. She going to jail. She tried to grab my genitals. She going to jail. And they wonder why Christians having a hard time making it to heaven. I stand for Jesus.
Yeah, I seen that a while back. It's so hard to believe anything. I mean, I know it's real, like the video's real. I'm saying, like, his intentions. I don't know this cat, obviously. So I question, is he doing this because he honestly felt violated? Number one, that's my first question. Number two, did she even do it? Did she even really violate this dude? Like, I don't know. Ain't no cameras in there. I don't know. Number three, is he just doing this shit for social media and clicks? Because why'd you post it?
Either way, though, is it not either way feminine?
Oh, I mean, it definitely.
If he thinks this way, he's feminine. If he does it for clicks, he's feminine. And why are you talking Jesus, homie? You went to a Asian masseuse parlor. Shut the fuck up. Let's keep it real. Let's look through the bullshit. You can always look through bullshit.
No, those are time out though, Jimmy. There's a lot of those around. And those are the cheaper ones. You can't go to Burke Williams every time you get massage. Burke Williams costs $300 every time. You can't do that every time. Asian might cost $70. I know talent. I know people at big networks who got money who go to the Asian spots. Not all Asian spots are doing the shit that you're saying.
But why are boys so affected by a woman touching them now?
Yeah, I can't relate to that.
But you defending it.
I ain't time out. I ain't defending that at all. Don't put your head down and JB laughed a little bit. Don't put your head down. I'm not defending that shit at all.
This is a perfect segue for a topic that we have today that we're gonna bump up the scale here real quick.
Let's bump it up.
And we're trying to stay on point on this show, this rest of this, as we relaunch. But Sharice Wright, okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of background. Sharice Wright played at Colton High School right up the street from my house. I recruited 4 players from there. Brad Sorensen was my quarterback in JUCO, played for the Chargers, the Titans, and the Vikings, okay? He went to JUCO for me. He went on his Mormon mission, came back to go to BYU, where his other brother, Daniel Sorensen, the great Kansas City Chiefs safety that won a Super Bowl, later played. Brad left BYU and went to and went to go play at an FCS school. He was the FCS Player of the Year 3 years in a row at Northern Colorado, right? No. I'm sorry. At God damn, where did he play?
North Dakota State?
No. Northern Colorado, I'm pretty sure. Well, balled out, broke records, gets picked up by the Chargers, backed up Rivers. Okay. He was my quarterback. So on that team in high school, he had Sharice Wright, went to USC. Stephon Bradford went to USC. And a guy named Jimmy Smith, who played for the Ravens for a very long time, was a great NFL safety corner, played at Colorado. Okay. The 4 NFL guys on one high school roster. The head coach was a good friend of mine named Coach Strauss. Okay. I've recruited his players forever. His daughter apparently was a team trainer. Alan Bradford. I'm sorry. I said Stephon Bradford. I was meaning someone else. Alan Bradford. The trainer was the daughter of the head coach. Now, since then, the head coach, Coach Strauss, overweight cat, good dude, has passed away. So the head coach died a few years back. Apparently, they called it spatting. I knew about it. My guys would tell me, and I got close with Jimmy, Allen, and Sharice when I was recruiting Brad, playing hoop and shit together. That's what you had to do. I played hoop every day with them and recruiting them, right? And Brad's family, greatest family ever, man. Mormon family, fucking unbelievable. Dog, Southern Utah. I'm tripping. That's where Brad went. Memory's going away on me as I get older. So
whiskey and cigars.
I'm not gonna give that up. Apparently, Sharice Wright coming out now after he played in the league, college, etc. And this is going on to the same cat who's bitching about getting a rub and tug at a massage parlor as a man. I never heard of a man bitching about a girl jacking him off. But anyway, let's talk about what Sharice Wright has to say and why the men become feminine in this country.
Ex-NFL player Sharice Wright accuses high school trainer of sexual assault.
Tiffany, who worked as the team's lone athletic trainer.
It started off normal. It started off, she helped me with what I needed to be helped with. The more and more that, I was around her, things started changing. Got a little bit more and more flirtatious. It just kept getting worse and worse.
As his freshman season progressed, Wright, then 15, says Tiffany Strauss, who was then 21, began to touch him inappropriately during treatment sessions. Sexual contact that he says continued during his sophomore year.
She started performing oral sex on me in the locker room one time after giving me a massage. That's where, it first was like, happened.
To the best of your recollection, how many encounters like that did you have with Tiffany?
It was a lot. It's more than 20 times, I would say. Outside of like the players, there were a few coaches that knew about it.
How did they know?
Because, there were players who talked about it. They call it spatting, is what they call it. Like getting spatted by Tiff, that was a terminology.
Spatted by Tiff.
I'm gonna get this straight. We are so fucking soft, dog. I could do a daily rant on this for forever. I'm so fucking tired of these soft pussy boys. I recruited Sharice. Sharice was not this way, dog. I'm tripping on this.
I thought you could read people's minds and characters, JB.
Gotta be for money. Money changes you. I do realize, but he's got to be chasing something.
Money don't change. It brings out who you truly are.
All right, let me ask you something. There's no fucking way. Now you're blasting this man who helped you get a scholarship, helped you, dog. Strauss did a lot for the motherfuckers' kids. Now you're blasting this man who's died. Daughter? Later? Maybe that was recruiting ploy. Maybe she was supposed to help the motherfuckers out.
My thing is, you said it happened a lot of times. You said it happened over 20 plus times. Sound like to me, you liked getting the spat, brother.
Yes. How'd you go? So after time 1 and then just skip to 20 times and then you forgot about the other 19 times? Dog.
You can't force. I mean, motherfucker, she can't force your shit to come out and force it to get hard and force it to
like so.
You knew she was doing.
21-year-old girl just grabbed this little motherfucker. Get over here, little motherfucker. Like minutes in South Central, I drinking your like turn into an alien. Give me
Cherie, sit down right now.
Give me that dick.
Don't make a noise. Put it right here. Like,
this sounds like the softest, biggest bitch-made discussion and move I've ever heard a man say or a boy.
At least top 5 all time. That should be the fucking bottom of the barrel. Like that's probably number 1 softest shit of all time. Like that's some weird shit right there.
Dog.
It has to be money, JB. The man struggling that bad.
Hey, dog, that would go to my grave. The trainer sucked me. I did 20 times. Shit, I wouldn't have given a fuck. And guess what? She probably busted your cherry.
I know his teammates is like, bro, chill. They probably nervous as hell right now, hoping that he don't call their name out and shit, because he ain't the only one.
Shit. I bet you the motherfuckers are still hitting.
to this day.
What kind of bitch made shit is this, man? I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
That's the fuck. I'm gonna be real. That's the dream, honestly. Like I be seeing, I'm gonna be real, and maybe I'll get some flack for this, but as a fucking, you was 17, 18, 19, 20, like, you a young man, right? And to have like your trainer or fucking, as a man, a trainer or a fucking teacher or some shit flirting with you or giving you some special treatment, as a young man, that's like the fucking dream. That's what I always think like, damn, I wonder what I would do if my teacher or my trainer did this.
She must have grabbed this motherfucker and bent that motherfucker over like that and pegged his ass or something. Because I don't know why he hurt.
Times.
Why is he hurt now? He got hurt feelings now. She must have grabbed that motherfucker and bent him over and she took over.
She must have slid in brother DMs recently and it's like, you want to run it back?
She probably hit him up like, man, you want some of this again? And he got all scared and flashbacks and shit. I'm like, dog, come on, Sharice. No, fuck. You're bitching about a woman touching you. And by the way, can we stop with the assault shit? It is not assault the other way around. I am sorry. I want to proactively, preemptively apologize to everybody out there that I might offend. I don't know about y'all men out there, you feminine fucks, but a female is not assaulting me on this planet Earth. I am sorry. It ain't never happening. Ronda Rousey and the whole female MMA can fucking grab me and lock me down. They're not assaulting me. I am fucking sorry. I am calling Smitty like, don't fucking Ronda Rousey didn't just fuck shit out of me. I ain't calling that assault. What happened to men, Smitty? Hey, Smitty, look at this. I got a video of Ronda Rousey. Them motherfuckers, they pinned me down. They put my legs back.
Hey, Ronda look good too, by the way. I seen Ronda in person, but
hey, all that. I ain't calling Smitty like this. Like, these motherfuckers really expect me to get on the phone. Like, all right. Smitty, can you talk, Smitty? Smitty, something happened. You act like you're listening to me. So,
what's good, JB? What happened?
Man, can you talk, dog? I gotta have a conversation.
Yeah, I got a few minutes right now before I go to work. What's going on?
Ronda Rousey, you know the MMA fighter, the female actress and all that?
Yeah. What about her?
She just fucked the shit out of me. She assaulted me.
Did you? I'm confused. Like, did you approach her? Did you want it? Was it good? I mean,
her and her homegirls came over. They threw my legs behind my head and they started just like AE, and they spatted me, and then they fucking they sucked the shit out of my dick, and then and then they left.
Oh my gosh, JB, I feel so bad, man. I feel so sorry. Are you okay mentally? Like, how are you feeling about that?
They assaulted me.
Are you gonna press charges or?
I should. I don't know. They didn't peg me though. They just assaulted my dick. Get the fuck out of here, man. How would that even sound?
It don't even sound right, man.
Call a homie and say, hey, dog, these bitches just assaulted me. Get the fuck out of here. I don't care what age you are. I don't care what age you are.
That's the only. See, that was the only thing I was gonna say. I do. So my only counter. I do think age to some extent. Like you can't be fucking. You can't have a fucking 12-year-old motherfucking 13-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like you fucking 17, 18. Like you said, like come on, bro, you grown.
Dog, I was hitting a bunch of my teachers at 17.
Tell me more.
I mean, I was like, yeah, legally, but I'm just saying, like, shit. I was 17, 18.
How was that though? Because I always listen. That was always like a big fantasy of mine. I'm gonna keep it real on here on the show. Like, not even because I thought my teachers were like just bad. It's the storyline. It's the principle. It's the no pun intended. It's the principle that like you're my teacher. You're supposed to be like a authoritative, figure and tell me what not to do and when I'm wrong and I'm so much younger than you. The fact that you want to like fuck me, that means I either look so damn good or my game at a young age is so superior at a young age that you as a 30-some-year-old woman, 40-year-old, whatever, is willing to risk it all to be with me. Like that's it. That just says a lot. Like how was that experience smashing your teachers, JB?
It was fire. I thought it was fire. Like shit, she, older woman. I don't know if she was married. Nah, most of the teachers I don't think were married though. We had some younger teachers too, like 28, 27. We had some little young GAs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not GAs, but like a teacher assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I smashed all that motherfucker. I don't understand the issue. And Jazzy talking about, I had some sexy male teachers and coaches. Give me detention, please. And that's a woman. See, it changes from a man to a woman's perspective. We're talking too long on this, but it changes from a man to a woman too. Because if I was a woman talking like this, now it's assault.
Yeah, it's different.
You know
it's different. Yeah.
Please assault me, Mrs. Officer. Please assault me, Mrs. Teacher. Please lay that history book down. Like, what? I'm going to go 20 years later and come out and talk about fucking she assaulted me 20 times before I said anything? You fucking bitch.
Yeah, it just yeah. Because men, like, we are the dominant creature. We're the dominant figure. So, like, if you really don't want shit to go down, you don't have to. Yeah. It won't happen. Like, there's no way a woman can just do that.
Yeah, like, sit down, boy.
It's way different when it's the other way around. But you as the man, you stop that shit. No, say no and get out.
Reese Wright, future US. 2 years later, he was starting corner at USC. He couldn't stop this female from sucking his dick. Get the fuck out of here, man. This shit is a joke, man. I just tell him it's got to be a joke. What's not a joke though is this. What up? Coach Chef JB back at it with a cowboy steak that'll make you slap your mama.
Woo! It look good on the outside.
A little bit of my specialty. This is a potato and onion specialty with cheese that I do. And this is my Cajun shrimp. What a combination. Steak, shrimp, and potatoes. Don't miss it. Ash, I know you're involved. Just a regular, like, Tuesday. That's how I do. That's how I do.
Look at Ash.
So, I cut a cowboy. We want to cut along the bone side real quick and get rid of the bone, all right? It's a really sharp knife, so obviously it's going to cut this bitch real quick and easy. Got a little blood in there, so it's probably not done all the way how you like it.
It ain't done all the way.
But we're letting it sit a little bit, and it is actually perfection inside. Let's cut one slice and see. Look at this. One-handed, by the way. That is unfucking believable. It will make you slap your mama. Depending on how you want your steak, that is pretty goddamn good. Just depending on how white you are, depending on how you like your steak. All right? So, white folks like this. This is white people shit. We'll take this all day long. You might be from the hood. You might like it a little browner. It is what it is. But I'm gonna fuck around and eat it. As I got older, that tastes better. Real Coach Chef JB. Peace. Real talk or jaw jacking?
Jaw jacking. It looks good, but it needs at least like 5 to 6 more minutes. I need my shit medium well. I don't mind a little bit of red or pink in there. That motherfucker is raw. That's a raw steak. That's a damn like you in the jungle.
Bailey's starting to. I think Bailey more white than black.
Man, that's you. That's you.
Bailey just said that steak is done.
I bet it is. You got like a savage. You fucking in the jungle. You know, you ever seen a lion eat a fucking giraffe? That's how that shit would look. Blood all over your beard.
So, when you get older and you get to and you want to spend some money on some meat, especially as cowboy. And that I usually get 4 or 5 pound cowboys, big ones. I don't know why I cooked for 8 last night. It was just 2 of us.
You do. You always overcook, JB.
I got so much food in the refrigerator right now. So you're not gonna waste $90 on a steak, dog, and overcook that motherfucker into beef jerky, Smitty. You might as well dehydrate the motherfucker and turn it into beef jerky like a piece of leather. No, man, that shit gotta have a flavor, gotta have a look. I don't want blood coming out either. Like, I don't want to see that did not have blood. That was just pink enough. But so hold on. I tagged you on Instagram and Twitter, and you responded and was like, I don't know. Contrary to belief, brothers eat pussy. Brothers eat pussy.
Oh, we love that. That's beautiful.
That's dark on the outside and pink on the inside, ain't it?
Yeah, it's different though. We not eating it when it's that time of the month, motherfucker. Like you eating the steak while it's that time of the month. That's the difference between me and you.
You do that too.
Nah, I'm not eating it during that time of the month. I'm doing other things sometimes. I'm not eating it during the time of the month.
But you beating it.
Yeah, that's different. That's different. I touch that steak right there, right now. I'll touch it. I'll grab that steak. I'll poke that steak, but I'm not eating that steak right now. There's a difference. Your mouth got to be like, you can't put everything in your mouth, JB. That's one thing. White people, y'all don't care. White people shit. Y'all like to tongue kiss dogs and they lay in the bed with y'all. Y'all lick the ground. Y'all do all type of that shit. Black people, we care about our mouth and our teeth and our tongue and our this is the holy grail. Can't have no sticky ass, nasty ass breath. You know what I'm saying? So white folk, y'all kiss anything.
Here's the thing. TJ too nasty for ya said I ain't doing anything on the tone of the month. Time of the month, I hope he's trying to say. Yeah. Then why you got a girl, homie? See, that's what I'm saying. You all in, you either all in or you all out.
No, it's not the fucking.
Yeah,
you either all in or you're not.
Yeah, you all in or you all out. Then don't get married. Don't have a girl. Because see, if I don't have a girl, right? You know, I rock that single shirt every day. By the way, females be coming up to me in the store like, "What's that single shirt mean?" I'm like, "I mean, I'm single. You come to the house, AE." So look, I could choose. I could pick and choose when you on your period. If you're single, I could choose. I would say, you. What time of the month is it? Oh shit! Don't come through today. I got another one. Hey, okay, come over. Hey, come on, man.
If you don't being single though, JB, you don't always your little girls that you claim you got. They're not always available. When you're in a relationship, that motherfucker is there with you. So I can get some Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if I so please, if I wanted to do that. You gotta like coordinate schedules and make sure you got a dog sitter and motherfuckers gotta. So you might go a couple weeks, you ain't had nothing. Being single, you gotta move shit around. Now, when shit is fun, shit is super fun when you single. You can do whatever you want to do. You can go to fucking Vegas, do that, you threesome, foursome. But the thing is, you ain't always got those guarantees.
He went straight to threesomes, foursomes. If you ever listen to Smitty, he throw in some crazy shit. I said threesomes, foursomes. Motherfucker got swing playing golf out here. All right, Smitty, we gotta get on track because now Keenan Middleton will be on at 8 our time, 11 Eastern, after Michelle and Matt. So we got a loaded lineup here in the next after our commercial break in about 10 minutes. Let's get a couple things knocked out real quick. Shedeur Sanders isn't him. My professional opinion, after evaluation for the last 2 weeks, I don't believe he's the freak that allows escapability that you all love in AR5, Lamar, Kyler, Josh Allen. He is not that guy. We agree on that.
Yes.
Okay. All right, hold on. I don't believe he is the arm talent of any of the elites. Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, any of them. We agree.
I agree.
So how is he a first round, first pick, first day NFL quarterback? That is my question to you and Matt before he interviews Prime today. Maybe we'll get Matt's blood boiling. I'm going to tell him he's not what you think he is.
Well, I'm going to answer your question real quick, and I'm going to tell you the real answer to that is that the greatest quarterback of all time was a guy who fits in that same category. He was not a freak athletically by no means, and the man did not have a big-time, amazing arm when comparing to, like, some other guys who he played along with in the same era, and Tom Brady. So Tom Brady is the guy who we call a GOAT. But if we're being real, we take our emotions away from it. He did not have a crazy arm, and he was not that crazy athletic. But his mentals, his mentality and his heart, his brain and his heart, two things you can't measure, two things you can't just watch and see on film, are things that can make a quarterback cerebral and can make a quarterback great. And those are the things that I think Shedeur has shown me. Now, he still has to show me more this year. Now that he has more help, he has an old line in front, etc. He has to show me more, but he's shown me some poise. He's shown me some toughness, standing in a pocket, getting hit so many times, game after game after game, still coming down out there in the field, making plays, figuring out ways to score, be efficient. Those are the things to me that are even more important at the quarterback position. We look at a guy like Brock Purdy, who just led his team to the damn Super Bowl, who's not amazing athletically. He's good, but not amazing athletically. Does not have an amazing arm, but he has the it factor. He has those intangibles. And to me, the intangibles are damn near just as, if not more important at the QB position than anything else.
Smitty. Sean Lewis had to dial it down. Let me just say that respectfully. Had to dial it down as the head coach at Akron and the quarterback there, who they ran everything in God's creation offensively, to Colorado, a Power 5 school with prime son, and had to dial it down. So don't put him on Tom Brady's level. Stop. And Tom Brady had a fucking whip. Tom Brady threw one of the greatest spirals in NFL history, and he has a top 5 arm strength.
Why was Brady 6th round? Like, it's so easy. No, for real. Hold on. It's so easy to say this shit now because we've seen what he ended up being. But why was Brady, if he was so amazing and so great and best spiral and all this, why was the motherfucker driving this round 6? Was all the analysts just fucking that crazy? No. He wasn't like that from a skill set.
What do you mean? Analysts miss every year.
Even his first couple Super Bowls, Brady wasn't like fucking flawless. There was the defense out there that was balling out. He had to do that much. He became Brady over time.
Oh, so now it's a defense in Belichick. But I thought Belichick was not the reason it was Brady.
Nah, Belichick played a role in the first couple. I'm not, listen. Belichick was like that at some point in time, but shit changed. And that's a whole nother topic. Motherfuckers get old.
First of all, Tom Brady wasn't a fucking 4-year starter at Michigan. You do know he had to battle it out and not even start at times. That's why he was a 6th rounder.
And why didn't he not start that? Why didn't he start?
That's my point.
Why didn't he start?
Okay, I was a late bloomer myself. But listen, he had all the things that Shedeur don't have. He still had an arm. He still threw a great ball.
And he knows everything about everything. Come on.
He knows everything about everything. Protection, coverage, rotation, slide, who to slide, who to bring the back. Dog, this is not the same football. We don't coach fundamentals anymore like we once did. We're setting these cats up for failure. To your point, isn't all the kids' fault. But at the same time, it is what it is. I got to make sure that I know and call it what it is. And this guy is not a first pick, first day guy. Because I bet you he will be. I don't know about first pick, but he'll be high, just like Caleb Williams, just like all these other mid-ass QBs that everybody has to accept are the new guys. To your point, this ain't old JB. This ain't the sit-in-the-pocket guy no more. Well, this guy is a tweener. He's a sit-in-the-pocket guy, and he doesn't have a cannon. How does he fit your mold of an AR-5 or Lamar? He don't. No, he's not. Sean Lewis had to dumb down the offense. He's not this either. What is he?
Timing. Like, if you really watch Shedeur's best games, that man's cerebral. You know what I mean? Like, you talk about getting in a rhythm as a quarterback. And you talk about that amazing throw that we saw, but you said what led to that throw was Shedeur getting in that rhythm and that flow. And I seen that time and time again last year, where he just gets in the rhythm of the offense and the ball's just coming out. He's making the short intermediate passes. He just take it what the defense gives him, and then still will find one down the field. To me, that's reading the defense. That's getting in a zone. So I think Shedeur, I'm not saying this guy's gonna be fucking a GOAT. I just think he's an NFL quarterback. I think you put the good talent around him, he can win you a lot of games. That's who I think he is.
Do you agree with Kurt Warner and what he said yesterday or no?
What did he say? I forgot what he said.
He said basically he's been evaluating college quarterbacks here for the last few years, and all he sees is dink and dunk, what you just said. He said, all I see is bubble, smoke, quick, now. I don't see anything besides the Texas and Washington game where Penix threw the football down the field. He doesn't see it anymore. And I have been saying this for years, Smitty. I've been saying it since you've been on the show for sure. So you know for sure what I've been saying this shit about Mahomes in the NFL even, who leads the league in touchdowns under fucking 5 yards. This is the thing. This is what the game has become. How do you really evaluate a guy and say he's this good and this bad, or very good or not very good, when you don't throw anything but lateral throws? It's dumbing it down, and I don't agree with dumbing it down. I think you need to test the kid's wit. I think you need to push the kid's brain. We're not doing it no more. We're sucking their dick so they don't transfer. We waste all our time doing that. And then they still end up transferring. But before they transfer, we dumb it down so we can get the best athlete on the fucking field, which is usually the quarterback. So if 50% of the throws in college football are behind the line of scrimmage per Kurt Warner's breakdown, how are we really saying these guys are great? They're not. Like, this is what they do offensively. So because these cats can't throw the fucking rock. They're great athletes playing quarterback. They're not quarterbacks who are athletic. There's a huge difference. And I'm just telling you, we got to move on, Smitty. Anything to that real quick?
Will there ever be another great quarterback in your opinion?
I don't think so, man.
Moving forward. So there'll probably never be another great quarterback ever again.
I think CJ Stroud has he's the last, could be Tom Brady-esque.
And why is that? Like, why was CJ able to break the mold?
Tall, long, throws it on time, hits his fist step.
No, I see what he does. I'm saying, like, why? He's young. He just came from the same college era that we're talking about is so horrible. And
well, the question I'm saying is just one guy, and I'm saying there's that guy. That's the guy, I think.
Typically, that's what it is, though, JB. Every draft has, like, it's not like amazing. It's not like Brady's draft. Everybody was fucking great at quarterback. It was a lot of shitty quarterbacks in the early 2000s, too. Like, it was a lot of shitty quarterbacks.
That's to my point to you, though. You say that why did Brady go so late? Because these professional GMs miss all the time. Jake Locker was a first-round pick, and I just told you he was one of the worst college quarterbacks I've ever seen. He goes first. Johnny Manziel. These guys miss all the time. What do you
Johnny
mean?
Manziel was there. Johnny Manziel was just fucked
Another
up.
Heisman bust.
Yeah, but he was immature. Like that. I think Johnny could have been really good, but Johnny just was drinking and smoking and part. Like that's a whole other different situation. It's not a skill situation with Johnny. Johnny was like that.
We got a minute here. I want to talk about this before we get back in it. The Chiefs are prepping to tag their best, well, arguably, Chris Jones and this man, Denarius Sneed, for a tagging him or possibly trading him. I know the Kansas City Queendom fan base is pissed off about this one. I don't think you can have a top 3 defense again without this guy in your secondary, along with Chris Jones up front. It looks like they could possibly lose both or one. I remember yesterday arguing about this with some dick face in the chat that said the salary cap's not even affecting it because it's Mahomes. Oh, really? So why aren't they keeping this motherfucker, you fucking idiot? this is affecting it directly because Mahomes' money is coming down the pipe and getting more and more and more, even with an extension of $30 million salary cap opened up. Snead could be a casualty of Mahomes' salary. And so can a lot of others. And that is why you take all your chips, throw them in there, and say, let's win a few Super Bowls. Because if the Chiefs walked away tomorrow, their GM still goes down as a great. Andy Reid goes down as a great. And so does Mahomes. They won 3 Super Bowls, dog. And they did it. If their team deteriorates for the next few years, Andy walks away into the sunset, nobody's really tripping. They've won 3 Super Bowls. They had a dynasty type of run inside of a 5-year period, right? So I would be happy as an organization, wouldn't you? So yeah, I'm not really tripping, but the Queendom fan base is going to want to win every year because they're getting used to it, just like the Lakers did for years, like Boston. Any good team that wins a lot, the fan base wants to see it. If you lose Snead, I think you got some problems.
Yeah, but I mean, we say this every year. If you lose Tyreek Hill, you always won't be the same, but they figured it out. You lose this cat, Tyrann Mathieu leaves, you won't be the same. They figured it out. They always figure it out because the thing is, when you got Mahomes, he corrects whatever mistakes or issues going on. He's the natural, just fixed corrector of all things. So you lose Snead, maybe the defense goes down, but the offense is going to be better next year. It's like something balances out. This year, the offense was down, defense was great. Defense goes down, the offense is definitely going to be better next year because they're going to make picks. They're going to probably make some moves in the offseason. We don't know where a lot's going to happen the next month. Stephon Diggs ain't going to be with the Bills no more. I doubt it. So what if fucking Diggs goes to the Chiefs or I don't know. They're going to make some moves offensively to where I think that's going to move them up overall. So we'll see, JB. I know we got to go to break, so.
Michelle Kirkpatrick on the other side to give us some NIL Tennessee rundown on the NIL and college football. We'll be back in about 5. Michelle will be here next. Coach JB Show with Big Smitty.
You wearing that T-shirt, JB? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I can't back down now, Jason. I can't back down now. I can't renege. This ain't spades. I can't renege and say, hey, it is what it is. I'm ready for it. By the way, it was Mahomes' first 300-yard Super Bowl, and it took overtime.
Listen, I try my. Listen, I'm not even a Chiefs fan, you know that. But at some point, you gotta just be honest and keep it real. Mahomes is amazing, man. He makes plays when he needs to make plays, but JB will find a way. No matter what happens, he will find a way to still win in his head, in his mind.
Jason, I'm sure Jason's going to blast me on his show today and ask me these questions. So, but look at Andy Reid here. He is totally embarrassed, and he's like, it keeps me young, and he's making a fun out of it last night interviewing him after the push.
He keeps me young. Yeah. So, the balance looked good. Yeah, not so good. He tested that hip out. Yeah, I know.
I mean, what can he say? What can he say? Like, I'm cutting them. I'm getting rid of them. Like, I don't know, man. At some point, I think that I just think that he could be exhausted, man. This is a lot now.
Well, I do think it's a lot for all of these coaches in terms of you got to understand. No one even criticized Travis Kelce last night on the broadcast. It's crazy that a player could do that and not get criticized and not have it be a story. When they got to halftime and Nate Burleson talked all over Bill Cowher and everybody else and wouldn't even allow this topic to be addressed, I was like, what world am I living in? They're down at halftime. They showing no composure, and Travis Kelce's just push, shove, whatever, run up on one of the great coaches. And I can't even hear Bill Cowher or anybody talk about it. And it's just that's how protected players are. That's how much the balance of power has switched. And so it's very tough on all these coaches. And look, players around the league, is why A.J. Brown tweeted about it. Players realize, like, man, we got all the power. We make more money than the coaches, and the media is afraid of us. And so we can do anything. And so if I'm a coach and I made a bunch of money and my legacy's strong, do I consider doing what Nick Saban's doing? I was like, hey, man, someone else got to deal with these headaches. I'm good.
All right, let me ask you a little college move before we get out of here. Chip Kelly left the head coaching job at a Power 5 and went to be the OC at Ohio State. Ryan Day, he coached their New Hampshire guys and all this stuff. I called it weeks ago. What do you think about that? Is that full evidence of I'm done? And since I couldn't get an NFL job, which we know Chip was trying to get, Seahawks was the Seahawks OC job. He couldn't get it. So is this the way of saying, listen, at least I ain't the head coach anymore. If I'm going to stay making a couple million at Ohio State, it's going to be as a coordinator because I don't want to deal with this stuff that's going on. And we've seen Harbaugh, Saban. We're seeing half at Boston College just walk up and get out of there and go to Green Bay as a coordinator. It's happening more and more and more. And I've talked to guys that say, JB, we're trying to get out of here. Did Chip Kelly just do that?
To some degree, yes, because as a coordinator, you can just worry about X's and O's. The head coach has to live in that transfer portal. The head coach has to deal. If he stays at UCLA, he's under a lot of pressure. He's probably needed to win 9-10 games to keep his job at UCLA. And now you can go make $1.5 million, $2 million at Ohio State, just drawing up plays. That being a coordinator in college might be a better job than being the head coach in college. Sherrone Moore may find that out at Michigan. It's just like he was in an ideal position, drawing up plays. Harbaugh's dealing with all the headaches. The kind of money that coordinators are getting paid now, that's a great living with a lot less headaches.
All right, Smitty, we're back in the business, and our great lawyer extraordinaire lives in the Rockies in Colorado, defends the Michigan Blue, the Wolverines. She's the biggest fan there is, understands everything legality-wise when it comes to the college football landscape, the NIL. Jim Harbaugh selling a hamburger to a kid gets suspended. We got it all with this beautiful, gorgeous Michelle Kirkpatrick. Welcome her in.
Clap it up, y'all. Show love, chat. Show love. How you doing, Michelle?
Oh, you're muted.
I think you're on muted or something's going on.
Michelle.
Oh, shoot. Let's guess what she's thinking right now, JB. Like, what do you think she's saying?
About how she could fix her computer, how she could get in. Or she's thinking, she's like, all right, I got to answer all these questions. Let me stay muted, just play it off. You know what I mean?
How about this?
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Are you in the office?
No, I'm at home. I was in the office yesterday, and I have to switch back and forth from my webcam at my office to my home webcam. But we're all fixed. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Thank you so much for hopping in here. We were talking about earlier the femininity in men lately. It's so bad. We had a guy snitch on a female trainer and said she groped him 20 years ago in high school. Is there a legality to that right now? Can she sue him? Or is he really have something if he comes claiming she assaulted him? She was a 21-year-old high school trainer, and then he came out and said she assaulted me and performed oral on me 20 times, Michelle. 20 times before he finally said something.
20. Well, no, time out. Not just 20 times. It's been years. It's been
20 years too.
It's been 20 years, and he said it happened at least 20 times where she would give him oral and all this stuff. Listen, before you jump me, we're not saying like there's no examples of men being assaulted. We're not ignorant. We're not saying that. But in this particular example, you're telling me, like, I don't, as a man, I don't know how a woman could force oral sex on me. I just don't see how that can happen, especially 20-something times. Maybe I'm tripping, though. I don't know. I can miss something.
It sounds pretty crazy. And honestly, even if the roles were reversed and any woman who claimed to be like assaulted 20 different times and like didn't make a change, didn't get out of there, didn't report it, like the credibility is questionable. But especially I would say when the roles are reversed. I have handled a few crazy employment claims, one including a guy who claimed that he got a back rub from a woman he worked with, and he wanted $1 million
for a regular back rub,
and apparently like pressed her chest against him a little bit. And
Michelle, it's crazy out here. I think men have lost their way. I'm just gonna tell you,
women can't even give you a damn hug no more.
Yeah.
Everybody gave him a hug and her chest was, and then patted his back. How you doing, Bob?
Yeah.
Boom.
Everybody wants clout. All right, Michelle, let's drive into brass tacks here. The NIL is a shit show, to be honest, number one. Number two, the NCAA has no commissioner. I believe they're even a bigger shit show. And now we have the judge that came out recently and said, we're gonna basically let it be a free-for-all. You guys fend for yourself. They're barred, the NCAA is, from enforcing NIL rules under an injunction granted by a federal judge. What does this mean in a nutshell?
All right. So probably less chaos than you think, but still a lot of chaos. So the court's ruling is actually limited to athletes in Tennessee and Virginia. Those were the states that brought the lawsuit. So right now they're at like a huge competitive advantage recruiting wise. Now, it doesn't mean that the NCAA is probably going to try to enforce these laws against schools in other states, but technically the only schools right now with an absolute free pass are Virginia and Tennessee. And it's not all NIL. It's just two narrow categories of the NIL rules, the rules that prohibit collectives from talking to high school recruits and recruits in the portal. Now, I think everybody knows that recruits in the portal already have a pretty good sense of what a school is going to pay them in NIL. I don't think that's going to change college football very much. I think where we're really going to see it is at the high school level, because I know collectives have sort of enjoyed the fact that they can focus their NIL resources on existing players. I mean, we know that there's been like inducement-like situations already. It just hasn't been like all that out in the open. But I do think collectives are going to have to divert more resources to high school players. I think that is going to make recruiting even more challenging for college coaches. It gets messier and messier.
Let me ask you this before Smitty jumps in. So doesn't those two states and schools have a huge advantage right now?
Yes and no. I think technically yes, because they know they absolutely can operate with immunity right now. There was another thing that I don't know, most people haven't been talking about this, but the NCAA has this super messed up rule called the rule of restitution. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. Basically, it says that if a court enjoins the NCAA from enforcing its rules, like has happened here, issues a preliminary injunction, but hasn't issued its like final conclusion yet. And then you act, right? Say you engage in this recruiting behavior, and then later the court either reverses or vacates its order. The NCAA, the rule says the NCAA can issue punishment that's way worse than the initial punishment would have been. So they can like strip individual athletes of stats, records. They can impose all kinds of crazy stuff. And this court said, you can't enforce this rule of restitution if later we reverse course on this, and you can't enforce or penalize any recruiting of high school athletes or portal athletes by collectives during this time. So I don't know, to the extent they're at a big advantage, yes, and that they know they're not going to get caught. They know they're not going to be retroactively punished for anything they do right now. But as a practical matter, I'm guessing other schools are looking at this and saying we could go out and get the same injunction in our state too. So I don't think the NCAA is going to be cracking the whip on this.
Like, this is going on too in Texas. They're trying to modify its NIL law in the wake of this ruling. So the NCAA can enforce its rule that prohibits prospective college athletes from entering into NIL deals. We just saw the Ole Miss quarterback sign the first lucrative private jet deal. Like, now this guy, Jackson Dart, former USC guy, goes out and gets a private jet deal now. Like, is this spiraling out of control in our front of our very eyes, or in your opinion, is it going to be too uncontrollable here in a second? Because Michelle, not to cut you off, but if we don't have a governing body and a commissioner, who's monitoring what I'm giving let's say my backup quarterback at Michigan? Who's monitoring? How do you know I'm not giving this guy $1 million that just to keep quiet and stay on the low and stay here and be the starter in the 2 years when no one really knows about him? There's a lot of that type of shit going on right now, according to a lot of buddies of mine coaching D1, and they saying it's so shady that no one's going to be able to track it.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that that's going on everywhere. And I think with each new lawsuit that's filed against the NCAA and with this new order, so even though this order was only about a narrow set of rules, what it does signify is that the NCAA's power is eroding day by day, right? And if there had been a different NIL law or rule challenge, the court probably would have struck that down too, because all of this is on such legally thin ice. But to your point, the courts, they can only strike rules down. They can't make new ones. And so what we're left with until the NCAA steps up and does something is that all the existing rules are just getting shot down left and right. Nobody thinks that they are credible anymore. And then it's chaos. And I think it's going to be chaos for a long time until the NCAA gets hit with probably a large monetary judgment or is facing the prospect of $1 billion judgment in one of these 6 or 7 lawsuits that's pending. And they have to make a change. But frankly, I don't know why they haven't already. Like, it's just getting so bad. The situation is insane. They're focused on super dumb stuff, like whether you can decorate a student's room.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
that's crazy. Like, I'm trying to think about who's the committee that's just sitting around just thinking about stuff like that. Like, you know what? Hey, you can't decorate a recruit's room. Like, why? Why does that even matter? And for too long, NCAA has cared about things that just did not matter. Me, as a former college athlete at Ball State playing in the MAC, I should have not been concerned when a damn, a scout or whatever you want to call it, a former alum bought me Olive Garden one time. I shouldn't have been nervous about that. Like, it's like little things like that I could have gotten in trouble for. It should never have been that way. And I don't feel bad for the NCAA. And it kind of goes to your point you made in the summer, JB, about this thing turning to a point to where these conferences, the SEC specifically, is going to kind of separate themselves and kind of create their own, basically entity in a sense, right? And it will no longer be an NCAA.
Michelle, let me ask you a legal question. How, because you just kind of alluded to it, how does, let's say the Power Five that will be, I believe it's going to be the South, like the SEC is going to combine eventually with the Big 10 or Big 12.
Right.
And then you'll have the West Coast combine with, you'll get these teams out here like San Diego State, UNLV, Colorado State, Air Force. You're going to get all these different teams. Maybe even Notre Dame gets thrown in the mix because they're going to be left out of the new 12-team playoff rule. If this is, on the same trajectory, how does those teams legally get out of the NCAA as their governing body? Because I believe it's coming. And I think that these guys, especially the SEC, once out, Greg Sankey, I believe, will be the commissioner if it does happen. They'll get out of the NCAA's complete control here in the next few years, in my opinion. Legally, how does that happen?
I think there are probably contractual relationships governing them right now, but the NCAA derives all of its power from its members, right? It's one of those things that they're powerful because everybody says they're powerful, and once everybody says they're not powerful, they lose that. So I would have to further explore what the legal basis would be for them to sort of secede from the NCAA, but I don't think right now there's much stopping them from, because the other thing is you can breach contracts, like
right.
you can. There's a concept in law called an efficient breach where it makes more sense economically to get out of the contract and pay the damages than to stay in it. We may see that coming, especially if the NCAA may no longer exist. Honestly, these lawsuits are like nuclear bombs. Like any single one of them could destroy the NCAA. Some of the Power 5 conferences have been named in these lawsuits too, but the NCAA may just cease to exist because of how it's operating and the fact that it's really operating illegally.
If that does happen, like, again, me going to like a smaller Division I school, I guess it makes me a little nervous, right? That like a lot of these like MAC schools, Buffalo, Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Ball State, like, will they no longer exist in terms of like having major like football programs and basketball programs if these Power 5, divisions come together, NCAA diminishes? Like, how do you guys foresee that happening? Like the effect of this happening on these smaller schools?
It's going to be really tricky, right? I think one thing that may be problematic is if the NCAA waits and then courts deem student athletes employees, and all of a sudden a college has to pay minimum wage to every single one of its athletes because of the degree to which it exerts control over them. They just can't afford to do that, right? And that's not fair to students who want to play and would play for free, because there are obviously other benefits to college athletics than just getting paid. But in the absence of real rulemaking to try to get around that, I think a lot of these programs are in jeopardy, men's and women's athletics.
Damn. That's a damn shame, man. That's a damn shame.
Let me ask you this. Towards your school in Michigan, Matt's going to hop in here in a second. He's obviously Colorado alum. He's get to interview Deion Sanders Prime today on his show after our show. Michigan, do they face any we're going to have Coach Moore on the show here. I'm a good friend of his. We talk all the time. I'm going to get him on the show here in the next couple of weeks. Do they face any ramifications going forward next year? Games, suspensions, scholarships? What the hell's going on there? Because I hear they're still not out of the harm's way.
They're still not. I do think the fact that Harbaugh's gone probably takes some of the wind out of the sails of the NCAA right now. I think the NCAA just losing power and credibility generally is probably a good thing for Michigan too. Those together may be helpful going forward, although I gotta say, as a Michigan fan, like, we got what we wanted. We got around the table, and it doesn't look good for those kind of rooting for Michigan's downfall that the NCAA president came out and said that the national championship was won fair and square. I think there may be loss of scholarships, maybe some penalties, we'll see, but I think the likelihood of the national title getting vacated is super low. I have a lot of confidence that that's going to stand.
Let me ask you this. As a Michigan fan, how confident are you in just the trajectory, I'll say, of Michigan, just football going forward with Harbaugh leaving? Obviously, an amazing coach. Moore's been there for a while. I know, like I said, JB's friends with him. Really good coach as well, but this is different. This is his first time, being I think a head coach, if I'm not mistaken. Like, how do you feel as a Michigan fan moving forward with him leading the way?
I love Sherrod Moore. I have a ton of confidence in him. I think he really understands the program well. I think he was a huge part of the culture that helped Michigan be successful this year. We Michigan fans had a really amazing opportunity to see him in action in huge, huge games. Not only big games, but also, I mean, that Penn State game, he didn't even know he would be coaching until hours before the game. It was on the road, Happy Valley. Like, the circumstances couldn't have been more challenging, and yet he rose to the occasion. So I love Sherman Moore. There's no one I would rather have leading Michigan's future. I mean, there are 18 Michigan players who were invited to the combine. So let's be real. We're losing a ton of talent. There's also a lot of talent coming back. I think in the new 12-team playoff, Michigan still makes the playoff. I think Michigan is a playoff team in 2024. It's not going to be the 2023 team, but I think we're going to be just fine.
You said that like it's kind of watered down now, huh? That's how it sounded. See, I go back and forth with Smitty, Michelle. I'm telling you, everyone's in the playoff now. Shit, might as well just. Hey, Michelle, I gotta ask you before you get out of here. I appreciate you coming on. This is what I kind of want to allude to or get to. This whole thing of I gotta get your take. So Pete Carroll kind of left similar to what Harbaugh did in his heyday at USC. Went to the NFL. Was like, enough's enough. I'm not done with the NCAA and their bullshit rules and etc. They're the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Pete's told me that personally, so I know that's how he felt. Harbaugh left for a similar reason, in my opinion. Should Reggie Bush have his Heisman reinstated?
1,000%.
I don't understand what's so hard about it. I don't really get the debate.
It's not even a conversation.
What are we doing? I of all the people in the world, I feel the worst for Reggie Bush, who has to watch Jackson Dart sign a private jet deal and know that he got his Heisman stripped because like someone made some rent payments on a house somewhere for one of his. I mean, it's just insane.
Allegedly.
Before you get out of here, I want to bring Matt in. He's right there in Boulder as well. He runs 6-0 Academy right in your backyard. Big Matt McChesney. Matt, what up, Matt?
What up, Matt?
How's everybody?
Good. Hey, I wanted you to ask a question off the top. I didn't prep you for this, but I know you have a great insight on this. Michelle, he runs an academy, and my question for Matt is he going to face any ramifications going forward by running a recruiting service and the NIL collectives coming through Matt, let's say, for instance, because I know it's happening out here on the West Coast. Does NIL start using him as a third party stepped over to avoid the colleges from having to even be involved to, again, kind of to your judgment of Tennessee and Virginia? Can this be a thing in the future?
Definitely. I don't see why not. I mean, as every day goes by, there are fewer rules, not more. Except if you're trying to decorate a kid's room.
or give recruits some cheeseburgers.
Listen to me. There's no 8x10 pictures allowed, goddammit.
No 8x10 pictures. You must deliver the cookie cake
no
in the lobby.
You better not get no cheeseburgers.
No pictures of you and your family allowed. And there's no blankets with the goddamn logo from the team on the bed. Son of a bitch.
I bet not see a customized Michigan refrigerator in your dorm room.
Man, if I see one fucking cup with a CU logo on it, it's on.
Michelle.
Listen to you guys talk about rules in the NCAA is laughable.
Isn't that ironic?
These fucking idiots, dude. Go away.
Michelle, I appreciate you coming on so much. We'll have to do it again. And this is off season now, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things that happen here in the NIL world and college football legality. So we have you. We love coming to you, so we appreciate it. And thanks again. Hopefully it's not. Is it snowing out there yet, or still?
It snowed yesterday. Michelle, you're in Denver.
Yeah, I'm in Golden.
I did not. I think I knew that, but I didn't know it. I don't know.
I'll reach out. One question. How is the Barbie movie? We made a little bet, I think, about whether Michigan would win the national title. And those were the terms.
With me?
Oh, forgot about that, Michelle.
No, it wasn't with me. I was playing.
JB got to watch the Barbie movie and miss you won. That's the bet, right?
There you go. Barbie, this
Watch
motherfucker.
the Barbie movie.
And can we please get a live? Like, can we get? I want to be. He's out of here.
Come back, JB.
I want to be part of this so bad. Can I watch him watch the movie?
No, that's how we're gonna do it.
Yes,
JB, we're gonna call Roy, your videographer. He's gonna come into your house and record you in the theater watching Barbie full blast HD. That's happening by next week. Michelle, I love you.
I bet it's a bet. I bet it's a bet.
Low key, I wanted Michigan to win. I said that on my show many times because of Harbaugh and how they screwed them. So I wanted them to win, but I forgot about that bet. Please, you gotta remind me, Michelle. I will humbly accept it.
All right, just let me know. You have all year. You have until the next national title game.
Michelle, real quick, what's the punishment if JB does not do this? Like, is there like an interest fee? Like what are we gonna do to
like the contract, JB? We just heard about this. If you're willing to pay the fucking fines, then you can get out of it, right? Fuck the contract.
That's right.
Well, what's the fine?
I trust. We don't need a fine. He's a man of his word. He'll do it.
Assault. Michelle, appreciate you. I love you so much.
Guys, appreciate you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Peace.
Matt, would you rather watch two people fuck or have two people watch you fuck?
No, random people though, by the way. Strangers.
Would I rather so what's the question? Would I rather watch two random, just nasty motherfuckers have sex?
Why you say nasty? Don't add attitude to it.
I'm asking.
Would you rather watch strangers have sex or have strangers watch you have sex?
The gargoyles I see out here, I wouldn't want to watch having sex if that's the question. Would I rather someone watch me have sex? Well, I'm a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus motherfucker. I'm Superfly TNT. So yeah, absolutely me, because I'm a fucking veteran, as they say. Next question.
Is it assault if Ronda Rousey grabs me and slams me down and lifts my legs back and fucking AEs me? Are you gonna bitch for assault, or are you gonna say fucking thank you and tell all my homeboys that Ronda Rousey just fucked the shit out of me? I am fucking confused. Have you heard what's happening?
I'll say this, and maybe this won't go over well, but back in the day, there used to be this term with dudes like, he just keeps drinking. You can't rape the willing. So you're over here just willing up with Ronda, and she'll whip your ass, and you'll like it. You'll be over here smiling like a motherfucker.
I don't know if you've heard, but a kid I recruited years ago out of Colton High School, Sharice Wright, played at USC, played in the league. He came out 20 years later and is accusing his female trainer for assault, sucking his dick 20 times. So the first 19 times was okay, Matt, but the 20th time.
You're telling me that there's a grown man that's legally got paperwork that said he is suing a female for blowing him.
Play the video, baby.
Play the video, baby.
Are you fucking kidding me?
NFL player Sharice Wright accuses high school trainer of sexual assault.
Tiffany, who worked as the team's lone athletic trainer.
It started off normal. It started off, she helped me with what I needed to be helped with. The more and more that, I was around her, things started changing. Got a little bit more and more flirtatious. It just kept getting worse and worse.
As his freshman season progressed, Wright, then 15, says Tiffany Strauss, who was then 21, began to touch him inappropriately during treatment sessions. Sexual contact that he says continued during his sophomore year.
She started performing oral sex on me in the locker room.
Oral sex!
Good!
I'm surprised he didn't die from high-fiving.
Good! Like, Matt, listen, Matt. Matt, I saw your face. You took off your glasses. I got to give you a lot of credit for that. Here's the thing.
Ridiculous.
I recruited this kid and his team. I had his quarterback played for me. Brad Sorensen played in the NFL as well. Daniel Sorensen's brother. I knew the head coach very well. He passed away recently. Great high school head coach. His daughter is the lady they're talking about. 20 years later, you come after your dead. You're dead. You're passed away. Rest in peace. Your dead head coach. You come after his daughter 20 years later when everybody knew what was happening and everyone was cool with it. Now you're bitching about it. Like, what has happened to men in this world?
Wow, bro. And it's the coach's daughter. Man, you couldn't fucking write a script better than this.
You can't. You can't.
But look, man, this guy's getting his dick sucked from the back and he's complaining about it. I mean, that sucks, dog. Shit must be awful for you.
It literally sucks, Matt.
Boom. Fucking dun, it's over. So I don't know, man. This is not the way I thought we were going this morning. I thought we were doing Matt's Monsters, and now we're talking about whatever the fuck you're talking about. Man, I'll tell you, this shit comes out of left field constantly, and I can't even see left, so fuck.
JB can't turn left when he's high.
I can't turn left. It's the Zoolander part of my life.
All right, Matt, we got you on. We got a pro baseball pitcher every Wednesday. Keenan Middleton coming on after you, St. Louis Cardinals pitcher. We're going to ask him some questions, but I have you here. I got to ask you a few things that's out there. First of all, the Bears and the GM.
Can we talk about you and Shedeur?
Talking about Justin. Yeah, we're going to talk. He's on the thumbnail in honor of you and Deion Sanders' interview today. Justin Fields, is he getting traded or not? I don't like how they fuck with these cats, in my opinion.
What? What? You don't like how they're fucking with Justin Fields? What the fuck are you talking about?
Let me elaborate.
I apologize for cutting you off, but I'm sorry. My fucking jaw hit the floor just now. You don't like it when someone's getting fucked with? Please explain. I'm listening. Please tell me how Justin Fields got your sympathy this morning. What happened?
Well, he doesn't have my sympathy because I still think he's mid-average. Here's the issue. You have blamed this guy for 3 years, and you've given him 0 weapons, 0 O-line, and new coaches every year. That is the issue I have with this mediocrity as the new excellence league that called the NFL. I would respect the fact that you go and say, listen, man, we are trading you. And they knew what they were doing right after the season ended. Why are you waiting and holding this thing back so long? And why did you come
know when to hold them? Know when to fold them. Come on, dog. Know when to walk away. Know when to run.
I want you to dissect this interview. Please dissect what he's saying, and I want you to elaborate right after you hear him talk.
What is if you decide to draft a quarterback, what is your motivation to trade Justin before free agency starts, knowing that there might be a premium on that?
Yeah, again, it just depends on what opportunities pop up. I will say this, I think you guys know me well enough now. If we go down that.
It's so low, but basically he said if we do go down that road starts March 13th. Free agency starts in 2 weeks. What do you mean that road?
They're not going after a free agent. They have the #1 overall pick. I
meant the NFL season opens on the 13th.
That's fair. I am shocked, dumbfounded, no less, that you have any sympathy for anyone, let alone a quarterback, let alone a mid-quarterback on top of that. So,
hey, it's the Smitty effect, man. It's the Smitty effect. JB has wrote off on me, and I'm nice. I'm not soft. I'm nice. I'm open-minded.
I didn't even get it out. You said soft.
I rubbed off on him a little bit.
Man, it's gross rubbing off on him and shit. Okay, look, I think Justin Fields has a ton of potential. I think if you look at his numbers as compared to like Lamar Jackson's numbers this year, with the exception of like 8 or 9 more picks, they're pretty similar. I think Justin could do a lot of things with a really good team around him. Chicago's getting better. They have a lot of picks. I personally would just be riding with Justin Fields for another year, because if they suck, then next year you have another high pick and there's going to be Shedeur Sanders at the top of the draft. He's a bad motherfucker in the first pick in the draft next year and probably going to win the Heisman. And I'll talk to Prime about that today, and we're obviously going to discuss it. But there's always going to be another high-ranking quarterback at the top of the draft that you can get if you're shitty. And to act like Caleb Williams is this end-all, be-all, next Patrick Mahomes, well, shit, man. With the exception of Andy Reid trading up, mind you, to go get Patrick Mahomes, nobody was sitting around, myself included, JB, any of us. No one was sitting around saying Patrick Mahomes was going to be what he is, because he definitely would have gone 1.
Right.
Period. So this is all about the speculation and the scouting and everything that goes into making this decision. In my opinion, throughout history, I think it's you either pick the dude and roll with him if you love him. If you don't, trade the pick, stay with the first rounder you already have that you've been developing, and keep trying to build that way. In my opinion, just throwing the next quarterback against the wall over and over again, not saying it's a bad thing, but at some point you got to make a decision on which road you want to take. If Chicago wants to continue to develop a quarterback, well, it's not going to stop. Caleb Williams isn't going to come in and be ready to play, guys. I mean, not only is he going to football purgatory in Chicago, where they've never had a 4,000-yard passer in the history of the fucking franchise, and they were the first franchise. That's bad. He's not going to walk in and be ready, and the fans are going to scrutinize him like hell. And the minute he starts struggling, everyone's going to look at him and go, well, why didn't we just stick with Justin Fields? We already developed the shit out of him. And now he's in Pittsburgh or Denver or Vegas or somewhere playing pretty well. So this is a hard question. That's for damn sure. But I think that they should accumulate picks and keep building the team. And, if that means keeping Justin Fields on a rookie contract for one more season before they make a decision, I think that's the better way to go. I'm not a huge Caleb Williams fan.
Caleb Williams has come out today with Adam Schefter interview. He said that he interviewed with Pete Thamel, and he said that the Bears and Commanders are going to be most likely his first 2 options. If I get drafted, quote, by the Bears, I'll be excited, Williams told Thamel. If they trade the pick and I get drafted by someone else, I'll be just as excited.
I just love how yes, he has the ability to dictate where he wants to go. Eli Manning did it. Elway did it. So then do it. Just come out and say, I'm not going to fucking play for the Bears if they draft me, and that eliminates all this. And if they still want to draft him, you've already said it and put it out there. That's the thing. Eli told everybody a month, maybe more, before, I'm not playing for the Chargers. Elway, I don't know how many times, even in 83, where, it was fucking Morse code and shit back in the day. He told Irsay and the Colts countless times, if you draft me, I'm going to the Yankees and playing baseball. I don't want to play for the Colts. And he was right, because
and we didn't want him either.
This is such horse. Listen,
it turned out we ended up getting Peyton Manning, who's fucking better.
That's not even the fucking close to the same time frame.
No, the shit would have turned. If we would have had fucking Elway for 16 years,
thing I've ever heard.
If we would have had Elway for 16 fucking years, we wouldn't have been in position to get Peyton Manning.
That was 20 fucking years later. Shut up. So, look, if you have the ability to do this, do it. And I would respect Caleb Williams more if he just said, I don't want to play in Chicago. I don't want to play for Washington. I want to be, who's 3? The Patriots? The Pats are 3rd, I think. I want to play for Gerard Mayo in fucking New England, and that's where I want to end up. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but at least he's putting out there what the guy wants.
Yeah, the Patriots, Cardinals, Chargers. Yeah.
I would say that the Patriots that's where I would want to go if I were him. But again, if I were him, I'd just be pumped. You're the first pick, dog. How can you, that's another thing, is how can you find a way to, make the first pick in the draft a negative? Maybe it's just the lineman in me, but fuck.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Well, let's move on, man. We kind of already teased it a little bit. We were talking about this earlier today. You said Shedeur is going to be the Heisman next year and the #1 overall pick. We started today's show. JB had a little mini rant saying that he doesn't see it. The guy's not elite as an athlete in comparison to guys like an AR5, Lamar, Justin Fields, etc. He's not an elite passer, an actual talent from an arm standpoint, like guys like a Joe Burrow, Mahomes, Josh Allen. So he think he's just kind of just good to average in both categories. What are you seeing that's different in Shedeur that's going to lead to him being a #1 overall draft pick next year?
Well, look, his last name is Sanders. That helps. You can't say it doesn't. Just like Eli and Peyton's last name were Manning, and that helped. So the lineage and the legacy is there. I think he's going to have an unbelievably productive season, where last year he was running for his life and still was, 30 touchdowns plus and only 3 picks all year. That's elite. That's hard to do. I don't care what anyone says, Coach. As a quarterback, you know damn well that that's a hard fucking stat to accumulate. I think that this year the offense will be a little bit more conducive to pro style. I don't think we'll have the same kind of spread look we had last year. I'm going to talk to Coach Prime about that today, with an ex, professional offensive coordinator running things. And the ability to lead while he's getting punched in the mouth. I mean, the toughness aspect of Shedeur Sanders, that's one of the things I would figure Coach JB would love about this kid is, like the CSU game when Six ran his ass over in front of Coach Prime and the whole team, and he got up and spit blood and smiled at this motherfucker through his grill and went and won the game, like through a dime. So I look at a guy who's has the tangible things I'm looking for from a leadership perspective, from a character perspective. He's not afraid. I've kind of sat back and thought about this a little bit more, but I saw a picture of his father today, Coach Prime, when he was about the same age, getting out of a Ferrari with, his coat zipped down to his belly button and the man meat sitting on his chest and a big ass chain and the fucking Jerry curl looking like the pimp he is. So I'm not surprised Shedeur does that. I'm not surprised he's got that part of him in there. And you know what? I think that everything's lining up for this kid, especially with the people he has around him, with Hunter and all these, all the receivers he has, and the shit he had to deal with last year, losing the way they did at the end of the year and having to overcome all that. I think that it's a perfect storm for an absolute explosion this year for Shedeur Sanders. So, look, I know I'm biased because I'm a Buff and I love that place, but I did say last year that he was going to be elite, and you can't say, look, go back and watch all these games and actually watch them and not just, hate on the fact that he's a Sanders or whatever, and look at those numbers and then think about if they had a proficient offensive line that knew how to protect and they actually could run the football, because that's what I think is going to happen this year. They'll be able to protect the passer because the scheme's going to be different. They have better players. Coach Prime went out and got better guys. We all know he did, Jordan Seaton being one of them. And then they couldn't run the ball worth shit last year because of their scheme and their offensive line. And that will improve. Even if they start running the ball 50% better and they're middle of the road, all of a sudden all those play action looks work. You get somebody to bite. So I personally think Shedeur is about to have a fucking monster season, and Travis Hunter is going to be right there on his ass. So one of those two, I think, could be hoisting a fucking Heisman in Boulder at the end of this.
JB, what's your response to everything Matt just said? And keep it real. This is Wednesday. This is the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty.
Video narrating. I'm reading Matt's tweet over here. I didn't see that until right now. Latrell Flowers, stop. Preach, Matt.
Who's Latrell Flowers?
Hey, Smitty, I don't know if you've seen the tweet. Matt already responded. I'm going to eat crow. Blah, blah, blah.
Hate.
Okay, it's not hate. Here's the truth. You and I and Matt and Smitty have had this discussion. You both have called me the old man on the front porch yelling at the clouds or whatever when it comes to quarterback play. So I want to ask you and flip it on you guys. The guys that you say succeed the most are the guys that can get out of trouble in the NFL and have elite arm talent while they get out of trouble. He has either. He's a mid-athlete with a mid-arm. I'm trying to figure out how he projects. All the things you just said could very well be true. He could win a Heisman. He could fucking have a great year. No question about it. We've seen the Manziels and the Bakers and all those guys in college rip it and be absolute shit in the pros. So my point is, where do you see him projecting, though? That's the thing I do. I project to the NFL. I don't care about college. We've seen a lot of legitimate guys play in college. I don't see him translating to the NFL after. This is only after, Matt. I've got to watch 2 weeks of film on him. We got the All-22. I've been watching for 2 weeks with Sean.
Right.
I don't see that after I've watched him more and more and more. I was impressed TCU game last year. Steve Kim and I watched him. I'm like, all right, he makes some very, very very, very critical throws where a lot of folks that don't understand quarterback play would understand. He threw a dig route low, way out of harm's way for a receiver. I thought was critical. I thought it was impressive. He showed me some things. But then you mentioned leadership. I don't see that, only because I've seen and talked to some folks on the scene that said differently. So that's a whole nother discussion. But I'm curious how your interview with Prime goes and how you ask those questions, because I know you will. I don't see him projecting or transitioning, I should say, to the NFL and being this big-time number one guy. I just don't see it. Not in the era that you guys have both described to me as need to be the freak, athletically gifted guy now back there. He doesn't have an arm like Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Aaron, and he can't move like Lamar, Kyler, Justin. So, like, I'm trying to figure out, professionally speaking, where does he fit into all that?
Look, we've said this a million times, but so much of it is where you go. You know what I'm saying? Like what kind of coaching he gets at the next level. And really a lot of that is going to be the foundation it's built on, right? Moving forward as well. So that's really what gives me a ton of optimism moving forward with Shedeur primarily, is the foundation that he has. Regardless of how much, they're in the spotlight and whatnot, they manipulate the media. The media runs with them because they know it's a click. People give a shit. So I'm not going to sit here and act like they're not playing the media like a fiddle. And I'm not also going to sit here and act like the media doesn't get something off of the Sanders family as well. So that is what it is. But when you just look at the meat and potatoes of this, I think the foundation the young man is building, all of the shine and the hype and everything that's pointed at them, well, they want that smoke, bro. Like, I'm going to talk to Coach Prime about that today on the when I go up there and interview him, but it's going to be focused on, a lot of people would say, the media has got a ton of eyes on this one particular player on our team, and the coach will stand back and be like, hey, everybody needs to act the same. We all may be the same, but, we're different at the same time, but we've all just got to, keep moving forward and try not to let the media and everything distract you. Well, the difference here is Coach Prime and his whole team and his family and his sons, especially the ones that play, Shiloh and Shedeur, and I'm going to throw Travis Hunter in there too because he's family. They've been like trained since day one to deal with this shit. And that foundation mentally, the ability to handle the stress, the push, and all that bullshit is, I think it's a massive indicator for future success, just from a standpoint of being able to handle all this shit, being able to handle the stress, the scrutiny, everybody piling on him if it doesn't go well, throwing praise at him if it does. So there's a lot of things that play into this. But at the same time, man, I really truly believe that the foundation laid by Coach Prime when, he's a father first and then, maturing into a Division I Power 5 head coach, that work done back in the day from the fathering perspective is what's going to set them up for success down the road. I don't really think it has anything to do with the tangible things from a perspective of just being a quarterback. I think it's so much of it's mental and what's in his chest. And his arm strength is real. I think it's really good and elite. He's not the fastest guy, but he does do a great job of manipulating the pocket with his feet. He holds the ball, but he's also holding it to get guys open. He's not just holding it and running around like a clown. So yeah, there's ways to break him down and scrutinize it, but I think there's also ways to look at it and go, wow, man, we could really do something with this shit if it's hung correctly. So Coach Sanford out there giving us some love, man. What's up, Mike Sanford? You pimp.
What's up, yes, Coach sir. Sanford, Mike Sanford. Real quick, Matt, did you watch our show before you joined today? Because when we talked about Shedeur earlier, I said something very similar in reference to Shedeur. I said it was mental. I said it was his brain and his heart. That's what it is. It's those two things you can't fully measure when you're just watching the tape and looking at the tangible skill set. Because I agree with Coach. He's not elite in any particular individual physical category, but the poise he's shown me when he's dealing with players in it, in his face all damn game, getting hit, getting harassed. He gets back up, he perseveres, and he still finds a way to be great. To throw 27 touchdowns to only 3 picks in year one with the team that was just, quite frankly, was average around you, just from being real, and you still perform at that level, I think that says a lot to him. Now, again, he has to go out here and really prove it this year, because he actually has more help, more experience, better O-line. So I'm expecting big things. He has to go out here and actually do it now. But if we're talking about this from what we've seen from last year and just intangible factors, I think so much of a quarterback's success and greatness is connected to those intangibles, man. It's so much more. Even again, I'm not comparing him to Brady. I'm not crazy. But when I look at Brady isn't the best athlete. He doesn't have the best arm we've ever seen. He hasn't even had the best arm of his era. I think Aaron Rodgers has a much better actual arm from a skill set standpoint. But Brady has that it factor. He knows when there's 2 minutes remaining, he's going to win the game. He makes the big time throws when necessary. He knows how to win. And those are things that you just can't measure when you're just looking at numbers or watching the tape. And I think Shedeur has shown some signs of having a little bit of that inside of him as well.
I agree with you, bro. And look, he's got a lot of things he's got to fix. But at the same time, the ability to look at himself and say, my standard has to be all the way up here if I expect anybody else to match it. And that's a big time attribute for leadership and character and everything else. So, man, I can't wait for the 1 o'clock today, bro. I'm telling everybody, 0 to 60, Coach Prime, 1 p.m. Mountain in Folsom. We're going to be up there rolling. I cannot wait. Huge thanks to Bree Maestas for all she did behind the scenes, helping me get all this right. I cannot wait for this today. Make sure that you check it out. It's going to be on TikTok live too at 60 Academy.
All right, Matt. We got Matt sponsors today. Before that, though, MVS was just released by the Chiefs to open up some cap space. People don't understand how the salary cap works. I don't believe they're like people in the chat yesterday were like, I'm just like, shut up. You act like Mahomes is never going to get paid, according to these fucks in the chat. So I want to ask you, they just tagged Snead, possibly, arguably their best or second best defender. He's not very happy, of course. They even discussed trading him. I believe you have to have Chris Jones and Snead back in Kansas City, especially with their outside weapons on offense, to have a shot. That's kind of helped them win a Super Bowl again this year, in my opinion. They had a great top 3 defense. What do you think about those moves? Cutting MVS, tagging Snead. It's about to get real here in the NFL, as you know. This is about to get nut crunching time. What do you think about the Chiefs making moves already?
So look, I was hearing last week, the Chiefs don't have the cap space. This was pre the cap jumping 40 million or whatever it did. Times are good. Economically, things are good in the NFL, especially when you're tax exempt. So Scanlon was going to make like 13 million next year. It makes sense that they would cut him and open up that money for a guy like Mike Evans. So that makes sense. The Snead thing, that also makes sense, because now they are going to they're going to tag Snead, sign Jones. They sign Chris Jones. They keep him around. They give him a massive contract that he wants. It'll probably be his last deal with Kansas City. He'll get a 3 or 4 year contract and continue his reign of dominance and terror at the 3 technique position. And then you can keep Snead around for another year, or you can sign and trade him, or you can figure out a way to manipulate the salary cap, maybe pay him up front, so on and so forth, to keep him around too. So I think they're good moves, man. This is the way, as a GM, you have to operate in the National Football League to make sure that you can keep your team together. So it's there's a lot of things that, bad GMs look at it and go, wow, there's no way to solve this problem. And in my opinion, as long as you're willing to fix it, there's always a way to fix it. So, they're going to pay Jones. They tag Snead. They get rid of Scanling. That's going to open up opportunities to bring in a better player. I mean, Mike Evans in Kansas City, son of a bitch. That's going to be shit. That ain't cool. That's the first guy in NFL history in 13 straight years to have 13 1,000-yard seasons. I mean, that shit is first ballot Hall of Fame worthy. He's got a ring. He's just a bad motherfucker, dog. Did you see Manziel's interview with Shay and how he was raving about Mike Evans and got really emotional talking about what a leader he is and friend? I mean, that's what I see too. So
I'm gonna have Kevin Sumlin on. We're gonna have Kevin Sumlin on the show because I know he mentioned Kevin. Yeah. All right, Matt. It's time for Matt's Monsters. We got 6 minutes with you before we get out of here on a commercial break. Before Keenan Middleton joins us, Matt's Monsters, the new graphic.
Ooh, I like that graphic. 6-0.
6-0, Matt's Monsters. All right, Matt, Bailey, let's get into it. The first one is who?
Who we got, big man? Who we got?
So right here is the big tackle from Oregon State. Now this sumbitch right here is super nasty. I mean, as nasty as you want to get, okay? His name, God, I can't even pronounce his name. Talis Fugata. Somebody help me. I can't pronounce his name to save my life because I'm terrible.
Yeah, all I know is he's a poly and he's on the white team.
He's definitely on the white team, but his leverage is outstanding. He uses his hand. You see here the independent hand placement, the bait hand of the torque hand. He's a prick. Watch this. Just giving it to his ass out there in space. He's nasty. He works really, really hard on using his leverage and not being over his toes, as they say. He can play guard. He can play tackle. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets drafted like late first round and gets moved to guard to play there for a year next to a really good tackle, and then all of a sudden he's the point man on double teams. This sumbitch can straight play. How do you pronounce his name?
Let me look at it. I'll read it for you. Fuanga.
Yeah, he's a special player. And look, Oregon State does a really good job of building their team from the outside in. So he's the first one on Matt's Monsters. That kid can straight play. Who's next?
I love it. Who we got next, Bailey? Pull him up, Matt.
Now this is the big tackle. All right, Mims from Georgia. This sumbitch is 6'7.5", like 360, and can move. Look at that, man. I mean, he's just one of these freaks that God gifted. Okay, like, hey, I'm going to turn you into the absolute biggest, meanest, most just put together sumbitch on earth, and you are going to go manhandle people for a living for the next 15 years. So, look, he's so physically gifted and so big and strong that I think he can get away with a lot of bad technique at times, but you clean that up and it is over. So I think this kid has a really, really bright future. I don't know if he's going to be the first tackle off the board. I like the kid from Ohio State or from Penn State a lot as well. But I will say this, this kid, like looking at him on the field, everything is so fluid and so easy for him. It really, really, really is like, it's what you're looking for from a premier left or right tackle in the National Football League.
All right.
Is my guy Drake Nugent. All right. Now, this is some Stanford tape from the year before, but Drake just won the national. Look at that finish. Jesus Christ. He just won the Natty at the point of attack for Michigan at center after grad transferring for them. Started all 15 games, was first team all Big Ten, was really kicking the shit out of people in the national title game against Washington, and was absolutely the force behind the running game against Alabama, especially as the game ended. He's 6'2", 300 pounds. He's got really long arms, great leverage points. I've been working with this kid, Drake Nugent, since he was 15 years old, went to Highlands Ranch High School right down the street. He wears 60, and bro, he's a bad man. And I really think this is the kind of kid with his lateral quickness and strength, the way he uses his hands, his head. So, like the other day when I was talking about the little intricacies of like protections and speaking football language, well, he's fluent in football language, and he's very good in the open field. I don't know if he's going to be a first, second round pick, but he's going to be a guy that gets drafted and then plays center for someone for, 10, 15 years and never leaves the field. So that kid loves ball on top of the fact that he's just a great ball player. The last one, all right, and really you could do both tackles from Washington here. Troy Fatune and then Roger Rosengard, and both of them, the right tackle and the left tackle for Washington. I thought we were doing Roger, not Troy, but whatever, we can do both. Roger went 73 right here, went to Valor High School right down the street, and is another Dodger family guy. And then Troy on the other side, the big left tackle, another just absolute monster tank person who is a beast at the point of attack. There's no surprise that the Joe Moore Award went to these cats because look at the time that Penix Jr. has to sit back there and really, really negotiate the pocket. So Rosengarten at right tackle, Big Troy at left tackle. Both of these kids can absolutely get it. I think Troy could probably play guard more than Roger could. Roger's probably a true right tackle, left tackle. But look, you're not going to have a wrong answer with any of these guys. They all care. They all want it. And when we talk about Matt's monsters, they are Baba Yaga, Oogly Boogly, there's a fucking werewolf and a vampire and goddamn Swamp Thing, and we are coming after your ass.
Good googly moogly. That thing is juicy. I love that, man. Matt Monsters, man. Big Matt breaking it down.
Matt, you'll be interviewing Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, in about 2 hours or your time.
1 p.m. my time. It is 9 a.m. my time now.
4 hours.
So we got some
make sure
time.
you follow Big Matt 0 to 60. He'll be interviewing Prime and Deion Sanders. And appreciate you coming out. We'll see you Friday, Big Matt, and let us know about the Deion. I'm sure we'll see it and repost it. Much love to you. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday.
Hey, Bailey, whatever you cut up today, just let me know, brother, and I'll be getting a hold of you too. Appreciate y'all.
All right, brother.
All right, then, Matt.
All right. Without further ado, our Major League Baseball extraordinaire, our pitcher, our killer on the mound, our main man, Smitty. Don't do that, Smitty. You look like you look horrible. Our main man, we got a segment for this man. It's called Key's Thoughts. And this main man, our St. Louis Cardinal pitcher extraordinaire from the Pacific Northwest, Lane JUCO product out of Oregon. Our main man, Keenan Middleton. Clap it up.
Clap it up, baby. And that man's clean. He got the full
yeah, right. See, I got the beard back. Grew the beard back. All that.
The beard lined up with the all red. JB, I know you living that red, JB.
I love it.
We're gonna have to send him out some red. I figured he'd be a Dodgers fan, something like that.
I'm a Dodger fan, LA, but I love that red. I grew up in that little neighborhood. You know what I mean? Hey, Key, we got a whole segment for you called Key's Thoughts, man. I know we're time limit. I appreciate you coming on. We love the fact that we're going to have you whenever you can jump on during the season on Wednesdays or whatever. I know you'll be flying around and all that stuff, so it'll be great to have you whenever to give us some insight. But right out the gate, I got to get Key's thoughts on something. The bag being extended and enlarged last year, does that affect you on the mound at all for, like, cats trying to steal bases? Are they getting there sooner? Is it really a thing in your head or no?
Yeah, I think it was the other day in the meeting. They said there was a crazy amount of stolen bags increased from last year. I don't know if that's due to the pitch clock. I don't know if that's due to the bigger bags. I don't know, but I would have to say that factors in. I think they said something about 1,000 more bases were stolen last year than the year prior. Right, that's a lot of bags. So I mean, that's free 90s. That's the difference from a guy being on first base to second base is the base hit scores him now. Base hit usually doesn't score him from first, but from second, it's going to score him most of the time. Now, take it on second, it's just a pass ball, or they steal third. Now it's just a pass ball or a bad situation, a pop fly to the outfield that can score him. So all these extra bags mean more runs, which means more excitement for the fans, which is exactly what baseball wants right now. And it sucks to be a pitcher, but I mean, shit, we get paid enough. We can deal with it.
Right. No, I love it, man. You guys are obviously, in the midst of spring training, man. Just for the novice fan out there, just for people like myself who are trying to just learn more about the game. What, in your opinion, what's like the one, I guess, biggest benefit or that you take from just being in spring training? What's the thing that you enjoy the most about it?
Just getting back out there and getting the flow of things. At this point, it's been 5 months since the last time I pitched in the game. Just being able to get your feet back under you, just like in any other preseason, basketball, football, whatever it is, just not having our guys out there for the full 9 innings, not having our guys out there pitching really long in length, but getting your arm ready so that if we build it up over these next 6 weeks playing games, that we're ready to go for a 162-game season. And if we didn't have that, I don't know how everybody would navigate trying to stay healthy through 162 games.
Hey, Key, I got to ask you, everybody's blowing it up. I've seen everyone making videos about it, all this shit. What's going on with the uniforms? I know a new company took over.
Yeah.
Is that shit really see-through or no?
Yeah, this was definitely see-through. I got some pictures yesterday from when I was on the mound, and it was the first time we wore our whites. So it was definitely see-through. Yeah, I think they're trying to get viewers up for females. I don't know what the hell they're trying to do with these uniforms. But I mean the numbers. I mean the nameplates on the bag. Just, they ain't it, bro. It looks like Little Leaguers. And the same with the little sticker on the sleeve. It's just slapped on there. It's like what? I do not feel like a big leaguer for the first time. Like, it's crazy.
Really? It's crazy.
There's some minor league uniforms I'd rather wear.
I've been seeing it. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I know that's what's his name? Ruben is who owns it, the guy that throws all those whiteout parties. I know he owns Fanatics, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's who's running it. It's crazy. I saw the names are very small on the back plate, see-through and shit. Now, let me ask you this, though. Is that a mental thing, though? Because I don't know if I could play being uncomfortable in my attire.
I mean, for me, it's not really. They come in spring training. They fit you for your pants. They fit you for your jersey. So it's gonna be fit to your body, however it is. It's just, I guess, for some people, it's the material. I mean, all these things, they don't really matter. I went out yesterday, I pitched a clean inning, and shit, but I mean, it doesn't really matter what uniform we're wearing, but they should clean it up. You know, it's not the standard we're used to, for sure, but at the same time, we get paid enough money that we should just be able to wear these jerseys and go out there and play the game. They should be able to figure that out on their side.
You a JUCO cat, though, dog.
Exactly. We built different, you know it.
Right. You guys ain't got that mentality. They
right.
use excuses and shit. Hey, I gotta ask you about thinking of excuses. The pitch count, is that a big thing? Did it affect the game at all last year, especially on the mound or the hitter or whatever? Do you care about it? You like it? You don't like it? Anything?
For me, I'm right there with the fans. Let's speed up the game. I've seen clips like over the years where a whole horse race had went and the horse won from start to finish before a guy threw the next pitch, like back in the past. Like, this is in the last 5-6 years. So you see things like that, and it's like, damn, they really were just a one-man show. Like, I got the ball, I'm gonna hold it for as long as I want. I don't have to make a pitch. So for me, I didn't get it. I think I got one violation last year, and it was because I didn't throw my warm-up pitches fast enough. It had nothing to do with me holding the ball in between the mound, and they gave us a little cheat code, honestly. They gave us the earpieces in our hat, as well as they gave us the transmitter. I have a transmitter on my glove, and I'm calling my own pitches. So by the time I release the pitch, I already know what I'm going to throw next. I click the button, the catcher hears it, and then I'm back on the mound with 18 seconds. I usually don't even need that much time. So I use that in my advantage, so I'm not sitting there shaking for half the clock. But I guess some people just like the sign, seeing it from the catcher. I'm different. I like just knowing when I'm going to throw when I get on the mound, so we just take the whole clock away from it.
Hey, there's a transmitter on your actual glove that signals the catcher what you're doing.
Yeah, I posted a picture yesterday from my outing, and if you look on my glove, you can see the little transmitter. It has pitch type and then location. You can tell the pitcher exactly what you want, or the catcher exactly what you want to throw, where you want to throw it.
Hey, Keenan, let me ask you something. They're making it harder and harder, it seems like, for you guys. Like the pickoff rule, another rule. Right. What's the rule now? Is that affecting you as well? What is it? 2 mandatory? You can't have more than 2 pickoffs in a bat?
Yeah. So if I pick over twice, if I don't get him the third time, he gets to go to the next base. So for me, I'm somebody who I'm pretty slow to the plate, but I have a quick pickoff move. So like you can fuck around if you want to and dance around over there, but I'm gonna get you if I catch you slipping. And I think that the majority of people either try to mix in a good pickoff move the first time, so they're like, the guy gets a little closer to the bag, and then for that second one, usually that comes from the dugout, somebody else that's seeing something else that you're not seeing. And usually it doesn't get to that third pickoff, but there's a couple of these cats, I'm telling you, that they use this stuff to their advantage because they start using the pickoff. So say I picked off twice, and now they see the clock going down 3, 2, 1, and I have to make the pitch, and they're starting to take momentum to second base. And if we lift our leg, then they take off. And so like that's the reason that the amount of stolen bases, runs scored, I'm sure everything went up a drastic amount, because these hitters are smart too. They practice this stuff just as much as we do.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, it sounds tough, man. Like, I mean, it sounds like you've been able to just seamlessly just, take the new rules and run with it. Right. It's just
Exactly right. What the hell is it gonna? What's gonna happen if I start bitching about these rules? Nothing. Nothing's gonna happen except I'm gonna look like a little bitch, and that's not me.
See, you got that football mentality, even though you're playing baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what I'm learning is, though, last time we had you on, what I learned is that me just not growing up playing baseball myself and just really being late to the game. You guys are just like every other fucking like basketball player, football players. Like we all the same people. We just play different sports. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. We have our routines. We all have our things. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. I think for so long I didn't think that for whatever I thought baseball was it's such a prestige sport and you can't flip your bat and it's just like we just looked at you guys as like higher than like everybody else from like a maturity standpoint. It's crazy, but we are the same people though, is what I've learned, which I think is dope.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Key. Now I'm gonna defend the fan paying patron. All right. So if I go to a baseball game, I watch the Cardinals Dodgers. You guys play out here, I'm sure this year. I gotta come and holler at you.
Oh yeah, opening day. Just let me know.
In LA?
Opening weekend in LA against the Dodgers. And then we go to we start off in LA for 4, and then we go to San Diego for 3.
JB.
Back to the West Coast. I love to hear it. Back to the West Coast.
JB, and get a fucking Dodger dog.
Let me know. Just let me know.
Hey, I go to both. I'm an hour from both, so I can go to San Diego too.
San Diego's dope. I'm telling you.
What's up, JB? We can make I'm for real. We can make it happen.
Smitty, you can't go. You can't go, Smitty.
Never mind.
Hey, Key, let me ask you something. So as a fan, Smitty and I pay these tickets. We take our kids, and we're up there getting a Dodger dog in LA. It takes a fucking 45 minutes to get a dog in the line. I come out there, and you guys are in the fucking 7th inning already. What do you say to that fan that's like, dog, the game's so goddamn fast that we're in the 7th inning. I just sat down with my hot dog.
Straight up, right. I mean, it's what the fans wanted, I guess. So you gotta pick your poison. There's gonna be a little give and take and everything, I guess. I experienced the same thing at a basketball game just a couple weeks ago. I went out because I didn't want to take my hat off for the national anthem. Went out, got a water, came back, the whole first quarter was over. I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? So yeah, I get what you're saying, but I guess there's just a little give and take.
Let me ask you this, man. Like, I know me as a former athlete as well. Like, I would, before the season started, I would look at my schedule, see the teams that were playing, and think about the different competitors and players that I might be facing against. You say opening day is against the Dodgers. On paper, these guys are loaded. Just got Ohtani over there. They spend a lot of damn money. Yeah. Like when you look ahead at teams like the Dodgers and others who are on the schedule, do you circle certain teams and kind of like? I know you guys play so many damn games a little different.
Right.
Does it bring a little added excitement though, knowing that you're about to be competing against someone like the best guys in the world?
Absolutely. I mean, like, I'm excited. Like, just getting here talking about it, you bringing it up. Like, we get to go to LA in Dodger Stadium to open the season. Like, I just think for me, that's something I've never done before. And then you see those guys there in the other lineup. Like, yeah, that's just it can look scary, I guess, to certain people, but to me, that looks like one of the greatest opportunities to have one of the greatest nights of my life. That's something I will remember forever. Like, Shohei's my ex-teammate, facing him a bunch, Mookie, Freddie Freeman, all those guys, they're legit, bro. Like, I have a bunch of friends over there. Joe Kelly, I was with last year with the White Sox. He's very loved in LA, and I'm excited to see some of those guys just personally and be able to chop it up with them, but also compete against them too, because that's a great club. And everybody's looking at them on the National League side of things, but I see what we got going on over here, and I'm pretty excited about what we got.
Ooh, okay. Talk your talk, Key. Talk your talk.
Hey, Key, you go from the Dodgers loaded lineup to another loaded lineup in San Diego, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. That's how it goes, man. Like, nowadays, every team has somebody that's got some thump. Every team has a guy who has a special arm, maybe a couple. You know what I'm saying? Like, the average fastball, I think, when I first came up was around 92. Now it's around, like, 94, 95. Like, everybody throws harder. Like, you used to have one guy in your bullpen that threw 100. Now there's multiple guys on a whole staff that throw 100. And so this game is exciting, man. Honestly, even with the rule changes and everything, all the things that people might not like, the game is more exciting, man. There's more home runs. People doing it from both sides. It's just, baseball's got a good thing going on.
Hey, Key, you've been to the Yankees, you've been to the White Sox, you've been to some great organizations. Where do you rank this team? I know this. What are they? The Cardinals are what, second all time in World Series, and Dodgers are third, or vice versa?
Yeah, I would have to say these guys and the Yankees are definitely they're up there. Like, just as far as the expectation is win every single day, and that's the type of person I am. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna be prepared to be ready for the game, and I think that the mindset is just that. Just do what you gotta do, but when the game starts, this is about the team and the history of the team. I think that the first day we were here, they came in and they talked about all the greats that came before us, and all the waves of players that came before us, but then the opportunity that we have to put our name in that history, like to put our name in that pot with all these greats that won championships. And I think that when you talk about history like that, that's one of the most contagious things. It's like winning. Like, I'm sure you've been around it. Like, you just have guys, a bunch of winners, and they come together and just create something special. That's what I'm seeing when I'm looking around this locker room.
I gotta ask you, Ollie or Ollie, your manager?
Yeah, Ollie.
The youngest manager in Major League Baseball. I know when he was signed in 21, just signed a 3-year deal for him. Is he more? Let me ask you: Is it a real thing? Is it what the professional sports are going to? We see the Mike McDaniels in Miami with the Dolphin. I clown him all the time, capri pants, and I think they're soft. Is it more relatable with the younger cats, or do you like sometimes, or is he still fiery? Get after your ass.
Oh yeah, I think it's just the organization in a whole. Like, these guys and the Yankees, like the standard. The standard's been the standard even before Ollie was here. So you're gonna follow the guidelines on what to do. But I think as far as bringing a guy like Ollie around, yeah, he can communicate with the players probably a little bit better than some old head could. And also with that, the game is so analytical now that I think that some of these old school managers, they can't really get on board 100% with all these numbers and playing things a certain way. And I think that you bring in a guy like Ali, who's probably seen a little bit of both while he was playing, he's a little bit more easier to adapt towards the analytics and everything else, and as well as being close to the players and being able to communicate with us. When I signed and did my physical, he invited me to his house. We sat down at his table. We chopped it up. He got to learn me. I got to learn him. And I think that was huge coming not only for our relationship, but just my expectations for the team coming in and his expectations of me as well.
What are you're talking about expectations right now? What are the expectations for the St. Louis Cardinals this season?
They missed the playoffs last year, so first of all, just to win probably try to win the division and get back to the playoffs. And after that, I guess we gotta turn the page when we get to there, but we gotta do this first. We gotta take care of business. I know they started slow out the gate last year, so we got a good opportunity to put our name on the map. We come out here and we take care of business out here in LA to open the season. I think that people will have to respect what we're doing.
Real quick, JB, and not to cut you off, I'm kind of switching gears a little bit here. I'm assuming you've seen the Cam Newton stuff online, yes or no?
Oh yeah.
What's your take? Just your general take, seeing Cam Newton getting jumped at a 7-on-7 camp. He got one guy in a headlock. He's throwing the other one. They can't get him down. What's your general view of that situation?
These kids are bold, man. I'm telling you, if you don't have a good head on your shoulders and you don't have the patience for that shit, like, somebody's just gonna go off on you. But I coach high school basketball during the off season, so these little kids talking shit to me on the daily, and I have thick skin. Like, I played stadiums with thousands of people just sitting there yelling at me. I suck for 7 innings before I even touched the baseball and go out and pitch. So I got pretty thick skin. They couldn't get under my skin like that. But I've had some kids, like last year I was coaching. Some kid told me he was gonna come snatch my chain, and I was just like, "You're lucky I'm a coach, little boy. Like, you ain't even got the hair on your nuts to come do that for me." But these kids are bold, man. I'm telling you, they're just like trying people.
Man, Keys Thoughts, great addition. We appreciate you jumping on here. I know you're busy. What's the rest of your day? You sent me a video. You guys were in a meeting early on already. Are you practicing today still?
Yeah. Oh, so we just got on. I pitched yesterday, so I got a pretty light day today. More recovery. About to go get a lift in, all my shoulder work and stuff like that. And pretty much a day for me. About to take the girls to the park. Had a nice day out here in Florida. I'm loving this weather.
Hey, ain't nothing like having a woman that you love, that got your back. Marriage is such a beautiful thing, Kim. I'm trying to tell JB that it's not too late. but he's so adamant on staying single. He doesn't believe me.
A couple of my boys took that saying after they saw that podcast the last time. Short, fat, skinny, and tall. Yeah. they stole your saying, JB. You pass it along.
Hell yeah. Hey, Key, there is a better thing. It's called having a lot of them motherfuckers do it.
Okay, all right. I feel you.
Hey, Key, man,
To each his own.
Hey, enjoy the family, man, and we'll see you next week. I appreciate you. Be
Yes,
safe.
sir. Yes, sir. Y'all be safe.
All right, brother.
Short, fat, skinny, and tall, JB. Come on.
Our main man. Hey, you know the difference between him and everyone else? This is why we do this show, and it may not be huge yet and all that, but we get real ones that are out there doing this stuff. We don't get guys that come on and sugarcoat it. He going to come out and tell you, you know, the Yankees and us are too good for – like, he ain't just coming out talking about the team he's on right now. Like, he's talking about real shit.
He's killing it 1,000 wow, and that's why we the realest show on planet Earth, ERFF. That's why we need 700 likes. We only got 300. That's the reason.
Hey, we got to take a piss break, a commercial break. We're going to come back to finish the show strong. We still got some topics. We got some segments. We got some new things. I'm glad a lot of baseball fans in here like the new segment. They like the addition. Again, we got a real one, and they got see-through pants, ladies. It's out there.
Hey, I'm about to buy some for this for the ladies of our show. You know what I mean?
Hey, Michael Rubin, who throws all these all-white parties all over, he know what he doing. That's marketing. Huh?
Smart marketing. Just like we wear the great.
Hey, Jazzy Jazz, why do you think he's a great addition? Oh, you can't talk now.
Yeah.
All right.
Cat got the tongue, Jazz. Cat got the tongue.
Pound that like. We'll be back in 5 minutes. I agree with you. What? Man, so Pat's good friends with Trump. I saw a video the other day. He was out there in Jersey, and fucking Trump walked in with a red tie, and Pat's like, how fucking strong is that? And I was dying laughing, man. Pat sent me the video. I'm going to be going to Boston with Pat next week or a couple weeks here for the live deal. But you got a good relationship with him, huh?
Daddy Trump, I love him. He's been like a dad to me. I've you know, it's amazing how if people, you know, it's that old saying, if you don't know somebody, then shut up about them. And,
no shit.
He's one of the greatest human beings. The family's one of the greatest families I've ever met in my life. And, you know, what he's going through right now is just crazy. Our country was in such great shape when he was there for 4 years, and now look at it.
Yeah, no doubt. The fucking Biden's son's on the Air Force One today, and Trump shit got raided. I just look at it like, holy shit, are they setting a precedent to do this shit to any and everybody here in the future? Because if you can raid a former president, which has never happened ever, they fucking better find some shit or we're gonna be fucked.
They're not gonna find anything on Daddy Trump. He's one of the most honest human beings I've ever known. I mean, yeah, so he's had some bad business deals, but who doesn't? You know what? He's come out strong. He's got great golf courses where the Live's probably gonna make their home.
Yep.
Which I don't blame Daddy Trump for when they kind of kicked Doral out to Cadillac, and it wasn't Cadillac's fault. But
yeah,
I don't know. I can't understand why people are going after him so hard when he did such an amazing job for 4 years for our country.
Well, look at, you know, people depict, you know, perception's reality. I'm sure me and you can probably relate better than anybody how fucking people, you know, think how we are when they've never met us in their life. So, you know, I find it crazy how people doing jobs that, you know, have no idea on what we do as a coach or a golfer, and being a professional golfer, the top 150 in the world or whatever it is, to get a card, and then they're going to sit there and talk about whoever, you know what I mean? Like, oh, John Daly shot at 80, but he's one of one. Like, people don't get that shit. Like, Coach Brown, you're an asshole, but you don't know me. You know what I mean? So they've never met Trump. They never met any of these people. They always want to talk about it. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean.
Well, for you, I mean, not getting paid what you probably deserve to get paid, taking care of those kids that are academically struggling from either Division I or even in Division II that, you know, and you're doing your job trying to get them academically ready. And then once they do that and they're playing great and they're healthy, they leave and you got to start over again. You've got one of the toughest jobs I've ever seen in my life. And I enjoyed watching it. Let me tell you something. I couldn't keep my eyes off of it. You're freaking awesome, dude. I love you.
So listen, You won 2 majors, 5 PJ wins and what, you got 20 wins total or something like that as far as the whole tour, professional tour. You got 20 wins, I think.
All over the world. I don't know. I don't keep up with it.
Yeah,
I don't win.
So
Let's put it this way,
it,
Coach.
man?
If you had that record, you never would be coaching.
Hey, you know what though? I equate it to baseball, man. You know, these hitters come up and these greatest hitters of all time, they bat whatever, 320, 310. But if you really look at it, it's really 0.31% because they take so many bats and they give these high rankings. And I'm just like, dog, baseball players really have a shitty hit to strikeout ratio, but 300 is actually considered good. And it's funny how perception's reality, man. How was winning that first tour, man? You come out as a youngster. I remember watching it, man, as a youngster on TV. And I was our fan right away. I was like, this guy's different. He's the fucking, the Adam Sandler of professional golf. When that movie came out, you were the guy that brought entertainment. But what was that like as a youngster winning that first thing and everyone's finding out, okay, this guy's just not a long ball guy. He can play.
It was, I tell you what, it was like a blur. I didn't get a practice round, so I went right in there, got in there at 2 a.m. because I didn't know if I was going to get in the tournament. And next thing I know, I'm in the tournament and win the damn thing. And I didn't know what to expect. And the funny thing is I found out it's a 10-year exemption on the tour and then 5 years in the majors, lifetime in the PGA.
Wow.
And I go, if I'd have known that teeing up Sunday, I would have shot 95. Thank God I didn't know that.
Hey, that's funny how that shit works. That's serious shit, man. The same shit's happened to me, man. I'm like, shit, that is a psychological killer right there. So need a weld for. Oh, some dick writer on TikTok. We be doing a lot, man. This show be like unbelievable. Like if we had to like rate it like per capita, like content, raw, real, edgy, funny, there's not a show better. Like I don't get it.
Man, we do it all, man. We keep it raw. It's authentic. Like even when stuff is going on, like if there's an issue, a mistake, anything, like we just let it happen. We let it be known. We're not trying to fake the funk. We talk about lifestyle, relationships, sports. We have debate. We have agreement. We have big time guests. I don't know, man, but that's what it is. So I think we keep doing what we're doing. We continue to find ways to just entertain and educate our lovely fan base. And I think we're on the right track, JB, to really blow this thing up. How many views did our yesterday's episode end up with? Because I remember me and you were on the phone after, and it was going crazy for a minute.
They're like 15,000.
Stop playing. We gotta learn from that. Learn from that. I don't know.
I didn't know it was like that.
I wonder what do we do differently? I wonder. That's the thing. The algorithm is so weird, JB, where it's like we do the same type of show, basically. Like we switch segments up, but the show, the foundation is the foundation. But some days it gets to 20,000, some days it gets to 8,000, and I don't be knowing what we did differently.
We're gonna add a little after hours segment. We might be taking a after hours segment to Spaces on Twitter. So everybody out there, if you guys want to know, we might do a live Spaces, Smitty and I, where we bring up some real topics and guys can join in there. We've heard that it could be a big grower for the show. Pause. So, yeah, we got to get this subs up, members up, all that. Afties, Lucy. We talked about doing a nightcap show like that, calling it after hours, doing it at night. But it's just like, it's just added part of the show, really. It's nothing new. I know a lot of people would like it. A lot of you might like it, but at the end of the day, Eddie Manyweather, you're a fan favorite homer and a slapdick to boot. But we love you here in the show. Smitty, I gotta ask you, Smitty. We got a top of the world, bottom of the barrel segment. We got a little white people shit, some black people shit today, and we got something that I want to ask you about. Our good show friend who's been on several times, who's going to come on again, Michael Lombardi, very well respected, former GM, Patriot, Super Bowl champ. frontman admin. I don't know if you've seen what he's been saying, but he came out and was quite bold and quite stood on business about my man Antonio Pierce. He said, just because he's from Compton, he thinks he knows the Raider way. It's a joke.
Ooh, hold on. This is official. It's an official comment that he said.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, let me ask you. You're the Compton native. You grew up with this cat. You know AP. I don't want to overstep my shit. I'm from Naptown. You see my shirt. I'm not from Compton. I rep my city like it's to the death of me, to the death. What's your take on that? Is there some truth to that? Is he tripping? And the floor is yours.
They both my boys. Why you throwing me in there like that? But you know, it's a real show on Planet ERF. I don't care.
I guess people ain't scared of Compton no more, JB. I mean, they taking this never would have been said in the 85 or 90.
When I was born, my pops, from what I was told, injected me with something called True Serum.
Was that legal or illegal at the time?
We don't know, but I got True Serum, and I just be telling the truth. Because if you tell the truth, you ain't got to remember shit. When you lie, you got to remember everything. You tell the truth, you don't got to remember shit. You just say it. Fuck it. Let's just go out and say whatever it is. Lombardi makes a good point. AP's growing up. We're growing up same age roughly. He's a little younger than me. Compton and the Raiders have no correlation. Oakland, I believe AP is referring to the Raiders and understanding the black and silver and the silver and black and the hats that Ice Cube wore.
NWA, right.
That has nothing to do with football, and it has nothing to do with running an organization in the NFL. Because you grew up in it and know what it means to be in the Compton, hood, NWA, it has nothing to do with running an organization. We grew up as the Raiders were basically Raiders and Steelers were two teams repped in the hood that meant two completely different things. Long Beach, it means two completely different things. If you wear a Steelers hat or a Raiders hat, you from the it's a different thing. People don't know that unless you're from out here. Compton, cats only wore Raiders hats because of NWA. But the Raiders weren't even in LA. They were in Oakland at the time, growing up. And they were back and forth. They were in LA when I was young, then they went back and then they came back. It doesn't mean you. So I don't know the gist or the full context of Lombardi's take on it. But just by reading that quote, he's right. But on the flip side of the coin, if AP uses that to get through to his players and they run through a wall for him because he is relatable, like Key just mentioned with the younger coaches, then he proves Lombardi wrong, then what? So
right. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, winning trumps all. So if he goes out here and he does a damn thing, Lombardi, respectfully, you know what I'm saying? So it just kind of just depends on what he does. But he go out there, he lays an egg. We gonna look back at this quote like, damn, Lombardi, he was speaking the truth. It all comes down to the success or lack thereof during AP's era with the Raiders. And he had a cool little first, stint. It wasn't even a full year, just a few games. He had a cool little stint that the team were playing harder for him. They're winning games, but now we're going to see a full slate, a full season, and we'll see how much they relate to him, how much he can truly run an organization. So we'll see.
Yeah, about the only answer I can really get. Clayton Brody, why are you using Shedeur hate as clickbait? How is that hate when I tell you the truth? Just because you're a pussy and you can't handle the truth, shut up. All right, look, let's dive into some things. We got top of the world, bottom of the barrel. I want to get into real quick.
We got to bring your brother back on at some point, too, this week, man. That was my guy. It was nice. It was a pleasure meeting that man.
Oh, Jabrownie?
Jabrown, cool. Like, for real. Why'd you keep him away from everybody so long? Like, we got to bring him back at some point this week, for real.
He'll be coming over tomorrow. I'm going to cook, so he's going to come over.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. We'll try to come on the show for like 10 minutes if possible.
Hey, we had 1,000 people in here when Matt came on, and then it dropped tremendously. So to your point, though, we gained followers later in the show, by the way.
The 7 to 8. Bro, I watch this shit every fucking. I swear to God, 7 to 8 was when we reach our peak, and then we get around 7:45 to 8, and shit started going down. That's why I asked the chat last year. I said, "Y'all sure? Yeah, do the third hour, do the third hour." I'm like, all right, y'all saying it, but y'all not rocking with us. So I don't know if people going to work right now and they can't watch no more. If they gotta like. Right now, it's what? It's 11:35 Eastern time. That's kind of like lunchtime.
Wednesday's always been the slowest day, though.
Always. But no, I'm not. I'm saying regardless. So, like, even yesterday. So, like, right now, yesterday it might have been like instead of being 1,040, it would be like 890 right now. But it's all watch it. I watch it every day. I'm an analytics guy. That's why you need a young guy on here for the analytical side.
Tomorrow, we got Akili on from Live Golf. They're in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. They're playing. And some breaking news. Kim is back in Live. I don't know. You guys don't know about him. He's a good dude, man. Him and Pat Perez are boys. He's back. He came back with the Live. He hasn't played in years. He used to be really good, PGA. Hasn't played in years. Wanted to take off, raise his daughter and his kids. Cool dude. Asian cat, tatted up, hood cat.
Ooh, him and Steve be doing that thing.
And so he's back. He's in Jeddah first time. Patting him. There's a Twitter video going out right now, if Bailey can find it, of Pat Perez getting to see him again. They haven't seen him in a while. They're both San Diego cats. And Bailey can find it, but they're over in Jeddah, 15-hour flight, Saudi Arabia. They play, and then they go around the world. Pat's gone for 35 straight days on the Live. They go all around the world, Hong Kong, Jeddah, all over the world. It's crazy schedule. But John Rahm, one of the best golfers in the world, who was on the PGA Tour, who one of Pat's boys, Scottsdale guy, has come out and said that Tiger has ghosted him since he left and went to Live. And he said that he will not respond to John Rahm after he's left. Hey, he gets $450 million. I could give a fuck less if Tiger.
One thing I'll say though, like whether you agree, disagree, I do respect Tiger from a standpoint of like he's to this point he's loyal than a motherfucker. Like he's loyal.
Loyal to that.
I hear you, but I'm saying I can respect somebody being loyal. Whether you like PGA, Live, I don't care about that piece of it. I'm just saying the loyalty standpoint. He's not a loyal dude. Like if JB get a big check right now, he's leaving me. If somebody say, "Hey JB, we're gonna give you $500,000 to bring on new co-host," I'm off the show.
It's ironic. It's ironic that we speak. The PGA is dead. I'm just telling you right now. The best golfers in the world and the big names are all on the Live now. PGA is dead. And I'm hearing rumors about another big name PGA guy leaving and coming over to Live too. If that happens, it's going to be crazy. But you mentioned loyal. This guy cheated on his wife multiple times.
Oh my God.
He ain't loyal to nothing, Smitty.
JB, mama's like, so hold on, time out. That's like me pointing out some a lie. That's like asking JB, have you ever lied before in your life? Yes, the fuck you have. Does that mean you're just a liar? Does that mean you're just a bad person? Come on, JB, stop. You done fucked around with I mean, we human. Everybody in this chat is human. We've all ain't nothing new under the sun. We all done lied. Motherfuckers done probably cheated. Motherfuckers done stole shit. Motherfuckers done beat up people, drive-bys, all type. You was a gang banger allegedly in the fucking late 80s and 90s. Ain't no telling what your ass done did or saw. That doesn't define who you are as a character. Don't ever do Tiger Woods like that, JB.
Bailey,
That's bro code. You don't do that anyway as a man. We don't talk that. We don't do that to another man.
Bailey, I just DM'd you a tweet. And this is my main man right here.
I was going to ask you the same thing.
How are you? You all right? Good. Hey, Claude, how are you, man? Good to see you. Good? Yeah, all good. What's up? How you doing?
That's like a Steve Kim hood version, though.
That's I got.
Snagging everything, long socks.
White people, I see. They're actually upgraded a little bit.
When is my guy Pat? When am I gonna meet Pat? Pat don't rock with me. He ain't joined the show. I ain't shook his hand yet. When am I gonna meet Pat? You go to Arizona, I don't get no invite. You go to Vegas, I don't get no invite. You go to Saudi Arabia with Pat. I don't get. Y'all ain't even thought to the fucking the throw an olive branch at your boy. I know Racist show. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? That's wild. I'm going to hang with Tiger then, the PGA. That's what I'm going to do. How about that?
Tiger worse. Tiger Weiger. We call him Weigerwood. He ain't got no shot at him. I don't know if you noticed, but college sports, professional sports, sports in general has become a shit show. This just happened, dog, in Kentucky. During spring ball.
All right, separated now. Come on now. He on the ground. JB, I mean, I'm sure y'all got in fights every now and then. That didn't really.
Did you see the fight?
No, it was a weak ass fight, but they fought. They fought. Motherfuckers was looking,
I bet you they fighting over NIL money and.
No, y'all motherfuckers fought, bro. I had teammates that fought, and my strength coach would sit back by, all right, let them throw hands. Morning workouts, 2 safeties. I ain't gonna say their names. Throwing hands. We let them get down for a minute. We separated. That's men. We around each other.
We used to do it on the field.
Yeah, I'm saying on the field. Morning workouts on the field. We didn't have no indoor. We outside, cold as hell, out in the field. We running, doing different drills, different stations. Motherfuckers ain't listening to the captain. They throw hands. It is what it is. We men. What happened to men being men, JB? That's what I'm talking about. That's what the era I grew up in.
Bailey, what? I just DM'd you a tweet. Can you put it up real quick? I want to answer what Smitty just asked. Smitty just asked what I'm going to show you. You just said, what happened to being men? Did you not just say that?
Men being men. That's what I asked you that, man. Like, football is a dominant physical sport.
I'm going to show you what's happened to men. And that's the crazy part of this whole thing. And when Bailey gets it in, you're going to see what happened to men. And it's sickening. It's disgusting. We got tattletellers now telling on females, like, why are you bitching and moaning about getting some head from a female? This is what's happened to men, Smitty.
Nice.
What the hell are we watching right now? Live on the damn show. What are we watching right now? Why is it a better question? Why is this showing up on your feed and your timeline on your algorithm? That's the bigger question, James.
It's not.
Why is it on your algorithm? Because I don't even see shit like that on my shit. My shit just got.
I follow. So I can have. So I produce the show and I do all the hard work and stuff. I follow certain people that give me shit like this. That's
type of dudes these women like nowadays, though. The Lucy's, the Jazzy Jazzes, they like dudes that they can control and run the household and shit. Because women are the ones who like running shit and they the men now and they want to boss.
Are you reading my mind right now? Are you reading my mind? Are we new best friends?
Is like, look at us. You look at us. Look at us.
You want to go downstairs and play karate right now? You're reading my mind, though. You just talked about the women. This is the reason right here.
Okay, so y'all, story time. So y'all, please tell me if I'm wrong. So today, this dude wrote me on Instagram, and he was like, "Can I send you money? Let me send you money for lunch." So I was like, "Okay." I wrote him back, and I was like, "Send it." So he wrote me and was like, "Okay, what's your cash app?" So I sent him the cash app. Yeah, I just knew I was finna open my Cash App and I was finna have at least probably about $100. You get what I'm saying? Because like that's I eat and that's how much I spend on my food. Yeah, I opened my Cash App and this man sent me $30. Yeah, $30. And I'm just like, at first I'm like, damn, like, am I ungrateful? Like, am I fucked up? Like, feeling like, why the fuck would you send me $30? But then I had to ask people and they was like, nah, because I'm like, $30 is not even half a tank in my car. Like, what the fuck you thought I was gonna go to Chick-fil-A? Like, I'm trying to figure out what did you think I was gonna eat? It's like, when I go and eat, I eat full course meals. Like I order
for lunch,
appetizer, a entree, and a dessert and a drink. That can't even get me 2 drinks. Like, what the fuck? And then this man had the audacity to write me back and say, let me get to know you. Why the fuck do you think I'm gonna let you get to know me and you just send me $30 for lunch?
$30, not 30, $30. She spelled that motherfucker THUR ... $30. Motherfucker, you get you a burrito. Chipotle. You know what I can do with $30? I can get a few lunches. I ain't gonna get me a damn burrito from the Mexican.
This y'all generation.
I don't know what's real and what's fake though. JB, starting tomorrow, I think for 3 months we're gonna start putting up just phony ass TikTok and shit like that, and just get this. Cause I don't trust nothing no more. Like I don't believe in nothing. I think she sat down and was like, you know what? I know everybody gonna hate this shit, and did the video and made up a whole scenario and story in her head, knowing that we would pick the shit up.
So if she spent $30, if she spent $100 a day, she says she needs $100 a day to.
But she said for lunch though.
Okay, for lunch,
3-course meal.
So do the math: $100 a day for 365 days a year.
Come on now, it makes no sense. That just don't fucking lunch. She didn't say like a day. She said lunch. She said I eat 3-course meals, appetizer, meal, dessert for lunch.
Are you on my page today?
You better go to Panda Express and get you a bigger plate. Get you to have a fucking fried rice, have lo mein, Beijing beef, orange chicken, some teriyaki chicken with the sauce on the side, a couple hot sauce.
Are you on my page today? Are we on the same page today? You said for lunch. This is the lunch I know.
Seen everything in the world today. Motherfucker, I went to the store and they got nickables. This is the ghetto shit that you can get for $3 goddamn. A bag of Funyuns, a little hug juice, a honey bun, and a goddamn half a sandwich. This is what you call a niggable. Cause this right here is the same meal that your granny give you when you get through swimming or getting at the swimming pool back in the day. You think I'm bullshitting? They come with different bag of chips. Some of them at the top got some nutty bars. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I was that kid back in the day. You better not fold my motherfucking piece of bread for me. If you give me that sandwich with that folded ass piece of bread, that motherfucker gonna be outside on the ground. And I'm only gonna eat the honey bun, the chips, and drink the juice. But I'm gonna tell you right now, after a summer day of swimming all day, this whole little pack, this little nickable right here be hitting like a motherfucker. See, I never seen them individually packed like this because everything in this pack got its own separate box that say not to be sold separately. And up inside the store, these motherfuckers selling this shit out together.
I love that shit. And by the way, all the white folks in the chat, I know y'all all at home right now saying that. Y'all saying the word that he just said out loud. Y'all can't say that. But he's right. That food is that's a hell of a lunch. I grew up eating that. We had, the real Lunchables, but I'm talking about the homemade fucking bologna, fucking cheese sandwich, press the bread down, cut it in half. Get you the 20, they used to be 25-cent bags, like a true quarter. Would give you the little bags of chips, get you a box of honey buns with the food stamp, not the food stamp card, the actual food stamps that my mama and people allegedly used to sell for money to trade. And I ain't gonna give you all the detail. I'm from the real hood, from the bottom of the map, the bottom of the barrel for real. So I'm just saying, man, I can relate to that. I eat one of them right now. I swear to God. I had some noodles last night. I'm from the hood, JB. It no matter how much money we get on this show, my foundation will be my foundation. It will never change. I am nap or nothing. That's who raised me. That's who bathed me. So when you got a shorty on here talking about $30 ain't enough for lunch, I can't relate. I can't understand. That's why I got my wife she in the kitchen right now. Probably making me a turkey, egg, and cheese right now, homemade. We get out the mud over here, JB. We check the check out here, JB. We month to month out here, but we find a way and we make a way. That's how I was raised.
You ever had bologna tacos?
Ooh, I ain't had that. Like you would chop the bologna up and like ground beef type shit, and then or you keep the full slice and just fold it in like this.
Yeah, bologna is the taco.
I've done like bologna. I mean, I didn't claim it as a taco, but I've done like if I didn't have bread, I would use like a soft shell tortilla, man, like a wrap, but not like a taco per se.
You're not from the hood. You talking about a wrap. We never even heard of a wrap in the hood. A bologna taco is a bologna piece of bologna. You make it a taco and you put the shit inside the motherfucking piece
I
of
just
bologna.
made fried bologna cheese sandwiches every fucking day. I put the bologna motherfucker on the stove, get the burnt
That
part.
hood must be different in Compton. That motherfucker talking about
You
a
ain't
wrap.
never took the red off the
I would've
bologna
got
on the
wrap
outside,
in the hood.
baby.
A wrap. If I would have said, hey, homie, you got a chicken wrap, I would have got I would have got put on a wrap in Compton, homie.
Baby, you bougie as fuck. I've been to your house. Last night you had fucking Cajun shrimp, a porterhouse fucking steak, and cheese potatoes at your house. You got a Picasso at your house.
Came up.
You got a Picasso at your house.
I did that.
You forgot where you came from, motherfucker. I had some top ramen noodles last night with Frank's red hot sauce and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Sound
on
like
the
a
hood.
you problem.
On the hood.
Act like I ain't been there before or something. Shit.
You ain't been there.
You ain't even had a bologna taco.
If a motherfucker took all your money out your account today, you would fold. You wouldn't know what to do. I know how to survive on bare minimum, JB. Minimum.
You crazy.
You would panic, JB.
I'm from the bottom and I always get to the top.
Motherfucker panic.
Don't get it twisted. Bologna tacos, unbelievable. I don't know how you don't even know what that is.
I had fried bologna, fucking egg and cheese sandwich, smashed it together, hot sauce, ketchup, and I'm going crazy. I grew up on bologna.
I used to throw my eggs on the hot sidewalk and make my fucking eggs, dog. What are you talking about?
Motherfucker, I used to boil my noodles with the actual hot water from the sink because the electricity, we didn't pay the fucking light bill.
Bologna
the electricity went
tacos.
off, and I brought it in the.
If I catch any one of you nasty
that's a
eating bologna tacos with mashed potatoes and peas in it, you know what? I can't even blame this on white people. This ain't even their fault. This is.
I don't know what they put in it. I wasn't gonna put I wouldn't even have mashed potatoes to put in there. But that is a bologna taco. You throw actually whatever you got in there. We used to throw Spam in there. We used to throw fucking noodles in there. Bologna tacos fire.
I grew up on salami though.
Latrell from like a bougie side of Long Beach. He not really hood Long
Thank
Beach.
you, Latrell.
He thinks this is nasty.
It is nasty as fuck. I grew up I ate salami.
Man.
Do you know what salami is?
Yes, I know salami is.
Man, I used to really eat salami, motherfucker. Like I used to salami.
Salami is a rich person's food.
Put toast in the damn oven. I ain't had no toaster. What the fuck is a toaster, motherfucker? Put it in the oven and wait.
That motherfucker Naptown got a different type of hood. They got salami in the hood. I wish we had salami in Compton. Shit.
It get freezing cold outside. What we do? Ain't no heat. Open the oven.
That motherfucker hood got salami, wraps.
Open the oven. When it get cold at the crib, open the oven up.
Hey, I bet y'all went over to St. Elmo's and got a shrimp cocktail too, right?
Man, you motherfuckers at Mastros every fucking weekend. Like we even got that. How you from the hood? You got a beach and palm trees and fucking. We don't know what that even means. How you from the hood and you got? How you from the hood? But every celebrity want to live out here.
Yeah, because they got money. What do you mean? There's money out here too.
Make it make sense. That should be to make it make sense. That should be the Smitty says so. How you from the hood and everybody want to live out here?
We got about 7-8 minutes to make it make sense and come up with a top of the world, bottom of the barrel segment that we have for you that so far people are just obliterating it. I'm glad that Bailey hasn't done any shorts yet.
Thank you.
On our top fives.
Don't do my shit yet, baby, for real.
Bailey, we need to do some shorts on these because this shit will get major traction on who our top 5, bottom 5 is. Because we can make a short. We can make a short, Bailey. We can make shorts now on these topics. I'm telling you. So let's dive into the top of the world, bottom of the barrel. It's your turn, Smitty, to go today. And it is your most overrated NBA players of all time. Let's start at the bottom of the barrel today. I want to get your worst, most overrated 5 NBA players of all time.
All right, man.
You
Starting
better not say respectively. You better not say respectfully and have somebody again in that mix. There's no way.
I guess we'll see, man. Starting number 5, man, I got to go with Ben Simmons. This guy right here was heavily recruited, supposed to be the next LeBron James, this, that, and the third. And the man sits out every time he has a sprained pinky toe. And he had a decent run with Philly. He had that bad ending in the playoff game, and we ain't seen the man since. So I got to put Ben Simmons at number 5. Number 4, it might come as a surprise. I'm gonna put Steve Nash, not because Steve Nash wasn't great. Like Steve Nash was a really good point guard, but the man was a 2-time MVP. And let's keep it all the way 1,000. Kobe should have won them MVP. Kobe should have won one of them, and Shaq maybe should have got the other one, or Kobe should have got both. Steve Nash went out the MVP, averaging 17 and 9. Really good point guard. Don't get me wrong, but I think we overrate him a little bit when in terms of like how great he really was. Never made it to a finals. Never got any rings. Come on, man. I just think Steve Nash has been a little bit overrated. Number 3, I'm going with Christian Laettner. This guy supposed to be the greatest thing since fucking bread, man. Fucking like in college, we thought we showed the shot every year. I'm sure we're going to show it here in about a week or so because it's March. We showed the shot every year, how great he was, this, and the third. His career in the NBA was very mid, as Coach JB would say. So this, again, comparing how much hype he had and how much of how good of a player he was in the NBA, I just think the hype was overblown. Coming in number 2, and JB's gonna get pissed off, but I don't care. Bill Laimbeer. Now this guy was solid, you know what I'm saying? But like, listen, bro, this guy was just he's a tough-nosed prick on a basketball court who just beat Jordan up because he couldn't outdo him on a skill set standpoint. And we give him all this fucking credit for fouling motherfuckers. I can go out there and foul and elbow and push and make an occasional open 3-point shot when I'm wide the fuck open at the top of the key. So that's why I got him in there at number 2. And at number 1, respectfully, I mean it was all due respect. This guy is a legend. Without him, it wouldn't be no NBA today. He paved the way for many of our black players to be in position that they are in today. This guy was a player and a coach. He just played in the era where the talent was not at a high level. And when you look at the stats and the numbers that this man was playing up from a statistics standpoint, and you think about how all these media companies rank this guy in the top 5 and top 7, and they put him above players like Kobe Bean Bryant and Tim Duncan, and even a guy he competed against in Wilt Chamberlain. I just can't look at the numbers and what he did and just put him as high as what we rank him. So I got to put Bill Russell.
Take a guess. Can I guess?
I already said it. It's too late. I just said it.
You said it?
I just said it while you was talking. Bill Russell, most overrated NBA player of all time. And again, people are gonna clip this off and be like, "Oh, I respect the hell out of Bill Russell." The reason why he's overrated, not because he wasn't good, not because he wasn't great for the sport, and the man's not here no longer. So again, respectfully, I love Bill Russell. Respect, I swear to God. But overrated means that you're ranked too high. And I see so many lists where people would put Bill Russell like top 5. Oh, Kobe ain't better than Bill. Tim Duncan ain't better than Bill. He had 11 rings. I get it. For his era, he was extremely dominant in his era. But context matters. It was way less teams. The guys he was competing against, it wasn't too many big men going against him outside of Wilt that means something. And you look at Wilt's numbers, Wilt would dominate Bill. As great of a defender as Bill Russell was, look at their matchups. Look at the numbers. Wilt Chamberlain would literally dominate them. Now, the Celtics would win. They would win the game because they had a loaded team in a not so great era. But individually speaking, man, like I don't see when we remove our emotions, I don't see how Bill Russell is even like a top 10 player of all time. When you watch the little bit of film that we got, when you look at his numbers, the only thing he has that's just phenomenal, that's crazy, is the rings. I get it. 11 rings is phenomenal. But Robert Horry got 7 rings, and we ain't never said that man was top anything, respectfully. So that's all I'm saying, man. That's my list. I hate doing these lists because they tough. They hard as hell. I respect everybody, you know what I'm saying, as an athlete myself. I know how hard it is to get to that level. So I don't even like doing a list. But for the sake of the show, that's what it is.
You took 8 minutes to do one segment. We can't get through the segments now. Latrell would agree with you. It's crazy. You won't have CP2 on there, but he'll have Bill Russell.
Let's just do bottom of the barrel today, and we'll say the top of the shit for tomorrow. I like it that way.
All right, bottom of the barrel. Let me get to a real list. I was laughing during your rant because I kind of feel responsible and accountable for setting you up with these lists.
It's your fault. I hate
they're
this.
very hard for you. They're hard for you because you haven't seen enough life, in my opinion. So I feel kind of sad and sorry and kind of like regret putting you out there. I wouldn't want to do that to my boy because we
I've seen enough. It's not even about that. It's just that like overrated is just such a like damn, like who am I? A guy who played Division I football at Ball State. Who am I to go call an NBA player, NFL player, a guy who did it at a level much higher than you and I did? Well, you made the NFL for a hot second, so you can speak a little bit more. But guys who did it, like how can I call them like overrated? It's one of them things. It's like, damn, bro. Like
I can say Carmelo Anthony.
Like, what's my resume to go call the motherfucker overrated? So that's why it's difficult for me.
Like, we're not talking about bust. We're talking about overrated. CP2 is clearly should be on someone's list. Overrated is not a bust. I wanted to be clear with helping Smitty out on this. We're not talking about Greg Oden and bust. We're talking about overrated and the hype they got. So I understood your Steve Nash take, but Steve Nash is at the top 10 of point guards of all time, with statistically speaking. So I don't know if he could be overrated, but
Chris Paul
interesting you came up with that because I agree. Kobe clearly should have been MVP. There's no question about it. But overrated, I don't know. Carmelo Anthony is overrated to a lot of people. So let me get to mine, bottom of the barrel. I'm going to start at number 5, a alma mater of mine, alumnus of my high school. James Harden is number 5 on my list. James Harden is number 5 on my list. He's literally done nothing besides move from team to team to team. He clearly deteriorates as the games get bigger and the bigger stages. Playoffs, he's an absolute no-show. He's choked off 3-1 leads after 3-1 leads, blames Doc Rivers, blames the coach, wants to get into the NBA transfer portal. Every single year he's on a new team. Unbelievably overrated. James Harden. Number 4. Smitty, I know you know this guy, but I don't know if you really understand the fucking hype he got. Number 4, Zach Randolph. Zach Randolph's son actually was coming to Indy to play for me in football. So I got to speak to Zach Randolph. But his NBA career,
beast.
Very overrated. Very overrated.
Indiana product too.
Very overrated. Zach Randolph comes in at number 4 for me. Didn't really do shit. Zebo, overrated. Number 3, I share a sentiment with you. This guy was the white god. He was like named a white savior. Casper the Friendly fucking ghost. I call him Casper the Friendly fucking nost. Christian Laettner.
Yes.
For him getting in the Olympics over Shaquille O'Neal to this day still bothers me. Still, I have a sour taste in my mouth because if Shaq was on that all-time dream team, holy shit. I mean, it was unbelievable. Imagine Shaq on that team with Magic, Jordan, Bird, and all those guys. Barkley, Pippen, Isaiah. Isaiah didn't go, but imagine that. Shaquille O'Neal.
Isaiah met the qualifications, but they didn't pick him.
Yeah, well, Jordan had beef. Number 2, Chris Paul. CP2, I like to call him the ultimate bleeder. He is an absolute bust. How you don't have him on your list over a Bill Russell who won 11 titles blows my mind. I don't care what era. Chris Paul is a blow-hard choke artist. Biggest bust bleeder that I've ever seen. And I better not ever hear him being in the top 5, 10, 20 point guard discussion ever. He's fucking horrible. Number 1, the most, in my opinion, the straightest, biggest, I'm going to straight say it, biatch ever to lace up an NBA uniform and shoes, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is borderline. I mean, I would probably call him a bust as well, but he's definitely the most overrated. And him and James Harden share a lot of the same sentiments. Yeah, they do. They share a lot of the same.
Fucking MVP, played in the NBA Finals, led his team to the Western Conference Finals, scoring champion multiple times. Stop it. I'm not letting you finish that. As crazy as my Bill Russell take is, your James Harden shit is just as fucking crazy. Stop it. Yes. James Harden ain't nowhere near no bust ever. We didn't know James Harden was gonna be this great. James Harden was never rated to be this high. Remember, this guy was a sixth man in OKC. He wasn't no big time like number one. He wasn't no number one overall draft pick who we thought was gonna be this. He's actually doing more than we thought he would be. He's maximized. He wasn't this guy in Arizona.
We knew he was a
Arizona. He did not know he was gonna be no MVP type guy. Tripping.
Hey,
don't ever compare Ben Simmons to James Harden ever in your life.
Tomorrow. We're getting to the top of the world tomorrow. We got Akili joining the show, talk about some live golf from Jeddah.
I'm gonna tear my Akili. You keep talking crazy like this.
We got some Jeddah live golf news with him tomorrow. We have a special guest tomorrow, the head coach of the UMass head men's basketball coach, a good friend of mine, Coach Frank Martin, who brings the heat, the energy, and is just like me. That's why we get along. He'll be on the show tomorrow. We got Steve Kim. Thursdays are back loaded again. Last year, quarter Thursdays were loaded. This Thursday's going to be loaded. So we got Frank Martin tomorrow. We got Akili. We got Steve Kim. And I believe we have somebody else. I'm going to verify it. I'll let you guys know tonight on Twitter.
I think Jabrown's joining too, right?
Jabrown will be here because he's coming over tonight. So we're gonna have it. We're gonna have a loaded lineup tomorrow on the greatest show on planet Earth. And make sure you pound that like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one, and pound the like when you get at the door. We got 650 people in here right now. Pound the like. We should have 600 likes right now. Like right now, hit the like on 3 on me. 1, 2, 3. Pound the like. TikTok, you pound the like. I'll see you tomorrow, TikTokers. Tomorrow, we're back on for Tee It Up Thursday, Big Smitty. You named it that. Tee It Up Thursday with Akili and Live Golf, Drunk by the Turn. And, hey, it's going to be fire, another fire show. So pay us our homage. Drop a super chat for Smitty. Get him out the hood. And we appreciate everybody coming in here every single day. We do appreciate that. And we will add in next week. We'll be starting to give away some giveaways, have you guys call in, and we're going to take phone calls. So all that's coming. Pause. We will see you on the other side. Pound that like button and see you tomorrow. Bailey, take us away.
Issues get pressed so fast you don't get sacked like bags and back. It's Smitty and Jason Brown. Killed it, yeah, it's a wrap. We what the game's been missing. We switched it and filled the gap.